Showtime. What is going on, brothers? What's going on? It's your dude, Mr. International Passport, here again for yet another future classic live stream. Press 1 in the live stream chat if you can hear me loud and clear as my audio. I just got back from the gym, had a nice 45-minute cardio session, treadmill, step master, all that stuff. So I'm pumped, bro. You know, it's good to work out, brothers, man. Every day. So every week I'm in the gym now. So this year so far. So you are you a gym bro yourself, Donald?
Cause they did, or as they say in English, every day. Every day. I can't miss it in Eastern Europe. I can't miss the gym in Eastern Europe, and you wouldn't either. Believe me.
Girls, right? Women, right?
Oh my God. The ones you had on your wall when you was a teenager. Those kind.
Fantastic, bro. Fantastic. So brothers, let me know, brothers, if you can hear me. Okay, we're good on our end, and production wise, sound wise. So special announcements first, brothers. As you know, I'll be teaching Python very soon. Okay, and spaces are filling up. All right, you heard my IT streams in the past. You heard my stream yesterday, right? Okay, brothers, right? Go and join my Python course. If you want to be out there in Eastern Europe like Donald, you want to be out there in Ukraine, and Ukraine should open up this year, hopefully. You want to be in Moldova, which is a hidden gem, and we'll break it down. You want to be an IT bro, you want to get your IT remote job, okay? You want to do my Python course and Fields Cloud course, so make sure you go and join my Python course. Go on the Patreon. Look for the tier called the Ultimate Python Course January 2025 tier to be in my upcoming Python course. I'll be teaching every Sunday. Let's get to it, man. Okay, we have a lot of work to do this year. This is our year. Crypto, stocks, IT, Python course. Let's get to it, man. Okay. Aside from that, brothers, what was I going to say? The X-rated, explicit, raw version of Moldovan Woman will be on the Patreon next week. Okay, and it's crazy. Like the Ukraine one, which was 5 hours talk. I was mad, bro, 5 hours. So brothers, go check out. Okay, go and join the Patreon. There's a lot of content on there. Stocks, crypto, travel info, foreign women info, all on the Patreon. Aside from that, brothers, throughout tonight, hit the super chats, hit the PayPal donations. Show IP some love, man. 2025, I'll be giving you back-to-back classic streams. And guess what, Donald and brothers? After this stream, we have Ethiopian
I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Ethiopian woman.
We're having some audio problems on this side, Jonathan.
To share how it's like being married to an Ethiopian woman, Donald. Okay, so that should be another classic. So 2 back-to-back streams, bro. Right, I'm putting in work for you brothers, man. Hello? Yeah. Can you hear me, Donald?
Now I can, sir.
Okay, awesome. So why there's 2 of me there. I need to remove one. Oh wow, what's going on here?
Parallel universe.
I need to remove one, bro. Okay, now it's gone. So as I was saying, brothers, okay. Sorry for that, Donald. Again, Python course, IT consultations. We have the Moldova Patreon dropping next week, and cop the merch. Okay, hoodie, t-shirt. All right. So let's get straight into it. Okay. In today's stream, we have a very special guest who'll be breaking down Moldova for the first time ever on this channel. Okay, Donald, how are you doing today, brother? You good?
I'm doing awesome, man. Everything's wonderful, wonderful here in Kiev. Just another beautiful day, and I'm ready to give your listeners some more insights, information about what's going on this side.
Awesome, brother. Awesome. So, Donald, my first question to you, brother, is introduction. So, tell me who you are, brother, where you're from, and anything interesting about you, bro.
Oh man, I'm just a regular dude, man. I'm 51, no kids. I'm from Texas. I was a professional in Texas for many years. My company sold in 2012, 2011, actually in December. An IT company I was working for many years. And after that company sold, that night, actually, when I knew the company was going to sell, I knew I was on the chopping block. And so I went home and I bought a ticket to Eastern Europe. I'd already came to Eastern Europe for vacation earlier that year. So I knew where I wanted to go. I just knew I wanted to escape. So tonight we're going to be talking about when I escaped to Eastern Europe, how I found myself in Moldova, spending much time there.
Amazing, brother. Amazing. Great story, brother. Your origin story is amazing. Just like Batman, right? Bruce Wayne. Crazy origin story, brother, to become a real superhero in Eastern Europe, bro. Ain't that right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Batman, Black Man, whatever you want to call it. I have a real different story. Last time we touched upon it a little bit. From 18 to 26, I was in the Texas prisons. I was in that place for all 8 years. They gave me an 8-year sentence. I never made it home until my last day. So I came home with, and I was with a group of friends too. So it was like four of us that went away for carjacking and teenage stuff. And by being a group of us, they sent us all away. It's Texas, so one crime can fit the whole team. One person can get the whole team in trouble. So my backstory was that it was crazy to go through those 8 years. But when I came home at 26, I started from rock bottom and started working very, very hard. I didn't take off time, didn't want to wait, didn't go to college. Started working at a small company, working in the warehouse. Went from working in the warehouse to out managing, out working my bosses. Took my managers them job. I started to doing controlling the warehouse, warehouse manager, controlling the production lines, controlling the shipping. Then I went from there to project management because I was doing so good at that job. I excelled. They moved me to project management. Now I'm in the offices. And so I went from project management to overselling my product because I knew the warehouse, I knew project management. They moved me to sales. Once I got to sales, they were like, you know what? Before we moved to sales, we started a new company. And when we moved to that new company, they said, Donald, we're going to make you a partner and we're going to bring you to the sales team. So I was no longer in the warehouse, but I knew the company like the Japanese. In Japan, you work every part of the company so you understand the company. A lot of you people don't know that. But I got that experience. I got a chance to work every part of my company. So I was able to grow in my company and understand my company in a way that I was able to present it. I was able to grow my company, have a quota of $1 million per year, got my company up to 5 million and all this other crazy stuff. So it's a crazy backstory, but it's an everyday story to me. It's just part of my life. That was just the back part. And I took that and I enjoyed my lifestyle in America as a bachelor. I enjoyed being single, no kids, no wife. I had a wife for a short, smaller time, a Mexican wife, for like maybe 2 years. And it wasn't for love. It was just, when you're in Texas and you have relationships, sometimes girls and friends, they need, ID to stay in Texas. So she was a very beautiful girl who worked for me. And of course, I was knocking her down. And so we ended up having, I ended up working it out for her. So that was like my only little marriage, but it wasn't a real marriage. And I had many relationships, many great work relationships, many experiences traveling and things of that nature. But what I didn't do, gentlemen, is I didn't leave the country. And so what I was telling all your listeners about last time was that what I found myself was, yes, I was enjoying life as a bachelor. I'm enjoying these extra checks, commission checks, partner checks. Everything's great. But I felt like I went from one prison to a second prison. And
Damn.
I noticed that just by how hard I was working, I'm watching my buddies get married and have divorces, watching my buddies lose their kids to women who are not great moms. And I'm just watching just so much craziness. Even my own brother, he had kids with a woman, and he had two kids by two beautiful kids, but there was no marriage, no relationship. So I'm an uncle now. And I'm just watching how my life could be if I settled down with one of my girlfriends who I had in Texas, LA. I had girlfriends everywhere. And I felt like if I settled down, I was going to become like them. And I just couldn't do it. And so when I went away for 1 month for vacation, I finally took a vacation. I had a vacation. I had gone down to Mexico, but what I didn't do, I would stay down there for like a week. I stayed down for 2 weeks, and I started developing different relations down there as well. But what I wouldn't do is I wouldn't go away for a month. I had a job, I had responsibilities, I was a partner, I was a sales guy. But once I got my passport and I knew I had a month-long vacation, I had a variety of places to choose from. And I could have chose South America. I could have chose Colombia. I could have went away for Colombia. I was talking to Colombian girls. My Spanish was good. But I'm like, you know what? I've been there, done that. I'm Blaxican. I've already been speaking Spanish around Hispanic women. I don't want that. My plate is full. Matter of fact, my plate is running over with Mexican women. I live in Texas. So therefore, I chose, the girls that I was talking to who were from Eastern Europe. And realistically speaking, if you go back to our old podcast, I discussed having, finding them online on different Ukraine date and different dating sites, and how I had 20, and I took that 20 down to 10, to 15, down to 10, and down to, 4 or 5 girls that I was going to for sure come and see. And so I took that trip for 1 month to Crimea, to Eastern Europe, to a place I've never been before, a country I've never heard before, couldn't find it on the map if I wanted to. The girls had to show me where it was at. I stopped in, my flight stopped in Istanbul, Turkey. Then it landed in Simferopol, Crimea. I spent 1 month in Crimea, and that was the best month of my life. It was my introduction to Eastern Europe, and it was also a changing of my path that I was not aware of until I returned back home after that month-long vacation. I spent August to September. When I got back in September, I found out my company was going to get bought out. And I found out, a couple months later, as I was working, hoping I was going to make the cut, or we didn't know what was going to happen, how much the company they're going to cut up. When I knew they were going to cut 15 people and my name was on the list, man, I was hurt, gentlemen. I was hurt. I was hurt. That was my life. That was my identity. I just came back from vacation and everything, but I also felt like if I'm on the chopping block after what I've been through in these last 12 years, these last 11 and a half years, moving up and learning the business and learning everything, I had other Fortune 500 companies that work with us, like, Donald, come work with us. Donald, come join our team. Donald, we hear there's going to be some changes over there. Come over here to this company, this computer company, this tech company. I'm like, nah, I'm going to do my own thing. So I went home that night in all my pain. We went to dinner with my partners. They say, Donald, we're going to cut you. It was a lot of pain in that dinner. I looked outside. I had a brand new BMW out there. One of my other buddies had a brand new BMW out there. We're about to get cut. I looked at that car as they were talking to me, man. I almost had tears in my eyes. I've been here since prison. I've been here since I was 18 years old, 26, excuse me. And I'm looking at this stuff and I'm like, I'm 37, 38. And I'm like, man, I don't, I'm not going to do nothing. I'm fixing to leave this country. I'm looking around the barbecue places we're eating. I could barely eat my food. I'm like, no, I'm gone. I went home. I bought a ticket before I could even tell the girls. I bought a ticket before I could change my mind. I bought a ticket before any other company kidnapped me. I bought a ticket before my girlfriends called and say, baby, why you home early? I bought a ticket. I had to make a decision. It was an easy decision. It was easy. I had to make it fast. And from that moment, my life changed. By the next Friday, I was on a plane going home. I was on a plane coming over here, excuse me. And, my mom and my stepdad took me to my brother. They took me to the airport. I had a car outside. I had flat screen TV. I had all kind of stuff. I'm leaving. As if I robbed a bank. I left like I robbed the bank, 2 of them. That's how I left. And I packed 2 bags, probably too much clothes. I packed a lot of stuff, a lot of my suits and lots of nice clothes I work in and stuff. I packed my PS5 and my Xbox. I was out of there. And so, that led me over to Crimea, but it didn't lead me to Crimea. It led me to Ukraine, because at the bottom, Ukraine is a big country. And at the very bottom, like Florida is to the United States, at the very bottom is a peninsula, just a little bitty bubble. That bubble is Ukraine. I spent the summer there. But once I came back, where I was coming to live was inside Ukraine. And Ukraine became my new home. And that's where my journey to Moldova started. Through all that journey to me coming over and living in Ukraine, my journey to moving or to traveling next door in Moldova started with my moving to Ukraine and me being having only 3 months to stay in the country. But when it would come to my 3 months and it's time for me to leave because we can't overstay our visa, luckily, Ukraine, Moldova, these Eastern European countries have a little bit of corruption, like we do, but they have a little bit of corruption. So my first trips over to Moldova, I had choices. Do I go to Poland? Do I want to go to Georgia? And they're like, no, go to Moldova. It's right down there at the bottom, close to Odessa, Ukraine. It's just a train over or a bus over. The bus is like 2 hours. The train, there is no train to go over. It's just a bus. You can catch a bus from Odessa, Ukraine to Moldova, and I would catch that bus, and I would catch it, and I would cross over and get my stamp. I'd get into the city of Chisinau, the main city. Once the bus took me to the main city, I'd get on another bus and come right back. The
So
rule
can
is
I
I'm
ask?
supposed. Go ahead.
Can I ask why you went to Moldova in the first place? Right, out of all the options. So what was it about Moldova that attracted you to that country? Was it the woman? Did you into about the woman from your Ukrainian friends? Why go to Moldova in the first place, brother? What was it about that country that pulled you there, bro?
Great question. So Moldova was easier to get to. So as I'm spending time in Ukraine, I'm in different cities. I'm in some of the cities that belongs to Russia now. I'm in different cities that are not even on the map anymore. I'm in different cities that, Odessa, Lvov, like I'm in different cities that were close to the Moldova border. So when I'm spending time in Odessa, we understood that when you go to the bus station, there's a lot of bus stations going right over to Moldova. So for me to get on a bus and go to Poland, it would take a long time. Then where would I go in Poland? I just felt like for the first time, and I think it was one of the girls who suggested it to me. Say, why don't we just go over to Moldova? We'll stop over there from Odessa. And I'm like, you know what? Let's try it. The first time I did it, it worked quite well. They let me right back into the country. They stamped me, let me back into the country, and it was just an easy process. So the first 2 or 3 trips, I wasn't going deep into Moldova to set up shop. I was just crossing over the border, playing the game of, hey, I'm out the country, and they'll stamp me right back. And what ended up happening is that there may be 1 or 2 times they pulled me off the bus and called me into the office, like, man, you're supposed to be gone for 3 months, but then I'm like, here's a little change, or how much my girl would talk to him. One of my girls would talk to him, and they say, okay, give me 1,000 hryvnias, which is roughly 20 bucks, $25. So I would experience that. And I'm like, okay, I don't, there's no need for me to go deep into Moldova. So it wasn't really until like my 3rd or 4th time of me doing that process that I would end up staying in Moldova for like maybe 3 days. We went on to Chisinau. When I say I probably have like 1 or 2 girls with me. We'd go over to Chisinau and we just stay. We stayed for 3 days. And I'm in the city, and I'm like, first of all, even on the bus and just the culture and the buildings and all that kind of stuff. As we talked about earlier, like a lot of things change, and we'll go into details on how the people change, how the culture changes, just from Ukraine to Moldova, what the changes are. We'll talk about that. But my reasons for the very beginning to going over there was just to get that stamp and come back over here where I had a flat, girlfriends all around the country. I had my gym, I had stuff. I'm not trying to stay nowhere. This is my new home. So it took a few times before I ended up staying longer.
Amazing, brother. So now that you kind of have connections in Moldova, you set some sort of plans over there. Now, I'm a passport bro, and brothers over here who watch my channel, brother, are passport bros too, or aspiring passport bros. And Moldova is a country I've been looking for intel for. And as a new brother who wants to potentially visit there, I want to ask you about accommodation there, Donald, right? So where do you stay? Is it Airbnb? Is it hotel? For a first-time passport, bro, would it be an Airbnb or hotel that you should stay in, brother? So break it down for me, bro.
Okay, so before I answer where I stayed at and how I stayed at, let me give you guys a little info. So Moldova, all right, for you passport bros are looking for places where the women are in abundance. You're looking for where women are everywhere. But you guys are just looking for women. I'm looking at the statistics, the ratio of women to men. That's what I pay attention to. So if you really look at the top 20 countries with the most women, Ukraine is number 2, which is why I'm here. But way down here, number 18, which is the top 20, is Moldova. Moldova has 53% women to men. So that means 91 men, you're going to find 100 women. So I want to give you that view first, that there's way more women than men. Number 2, Moldova is the poorest country in Europe. Yeah, your money's going to be long. Your money's going to be long, like the Nile River. Very long. Your pounds go a long way. Okay? So it's the poorest country. Take advantage of that, right? Number three, it's the least visited country for all people. So you're not going to find any Americans there. You're not going to find any Europeans there. For what? There's all these other options to go to that are more glamorous. So by being the least visited country, that means the least visited for us too, for you passport bros. So I want to give you that, guys, that high level way of looking at your prey. If you're a lion, you know, you want to sit back and scope, pay attention where you're trying to go. I'm trying to give you guys that view, just in case you guys got the sharp eye like me. You like the stats. You're like, okay, boom, it makes sense. Moldova could be a good spot. Those things. Now, when you get there, the first couple times I stayed there, maybe like the first 2 times I stayed at different flats. And when I say flat, Bartita, or excuse me, apartment, they're just apartments, fully furnished apartments that we would stay at. You find a little realtor, they'll put you up in an apartment, you know, X amount per month, usually around $250 per month. I would be paying somewhere around $500. Now, and those apartments, now those are day apartments, short-term apartments that you can stay in. No one does Airbnb when they come to Europe. Let me repeat myself. No one does Airbnb when they come to Eastern Europe. Do not waste your time with an Airbnb, okay? You're going to be going through a real estate agent who you have to pay, and you got to pay the apartment. You got to pay double, and then you got to pay whatever the Airbnb is, which they have higher rates because their apartments are on Airbnb in the city. No, call the local. There's all kind of people that got their apartments here. Call the locals. Deal with the locals. Now, gentlemen, for you passport bros, you're only here short term. You can do that. Sorry. For you short-term guys, you can do the Airbnb. I don't do it for short-term either. I've never done it one time in 13 years. I've been in Eastern Europe. Not one place I've gone to, one city where I've used Airbnb. Not once. So that's why I guess my money's longer. Anyways, so I don't use Airbnb, but are those options out there, IP? Yes, sir, they are. You have multiple options. Cities like Chisinau, it's not going to be a lot of options like Kiev and stuff like that, but you're going to see them on there. You're going to see more flats that are not Airbnb. So you just, you know, you call those up and see what they have open. It's really actually quite easy. So that answers your question about the living arrangements.
Amazing, brother. Amazing. So, brother, right now, I'm going to be honest with you, brother. Moldova is such a niche, small country that I'm going to assume that back in your time, many years ago when you first visit there, or even when you go there right now, you were probably the only black man in history to step foot in Moldova. Or even right now, there ain't a lot of black men around you, brother. But keep it real with me, brother. There's small amounts of black men. Are you the only black guy there in Moldova?
The only. You'll find one guy on YouTube who has a Moldova video, a Kiev video, Lvov, Ukraine video. He's there for one day. He's on a bus. He's catching trains. He get off the train. He walk around the city. Don't date. Don't eat. Don't go to the gym. Don't buy anything in the markets. He's not spending time. He hasn't gone to concerts and watched people play. Not those guys. I'm the only guy who goes there and lives, puts in the work, goes to the gym daily, eat daily, go to the market, spend time, spend money, come back, stay again for 3 months. That's me. So no, when I've been there, I've never seen one black American ever. I can count maybe 1 or 2 times I've seen Africans. Now, the Moroccan, you know, we'll talk later. So Ukraine has a lot of students. Number 1, they have Indian students. Number 2, African students, Nigeria, Cameroon, a whole bunch of different countries. But they're here to be doctors in Ukraine. In Moldova, they're there to be dentists. So in Moldova, they have a lot of dentist schools, a lot of schools for dentistry. So when you'll see anyone foreign, they're going to probably be there for that. You don't see expats there. You're not going to see many no blacks, but you're not going to see people from your country, from UK, from the West. You're not going to see that. Moldova is one of the countries no one wants to stop at. And if they stop there, they're doing what they got to do so they can leave. So you're not going to see them at the club. You're not going to see them walking around. You're not going to say, hey, there's another guy from UK. What's up? Like, no, you're not going to see it. No black guys, no nothing. So you will be the only black guy if you're black and you're a passport bro and you stop in Moldova. Expect to be the only chocolate ice cream in the whole country.
That's crazy. That is crazy, brother. Wow. So, brother, in your time in Moldova and from your observations, right, who's in control of that country? Now, I know it's very close to Ukraine, Poland, Russia, etc., etc. But do Moldovan people run that country, or are there external forces and external powers that actually run that country of Moldova, brother?
Good question. So I explained last time that, you know, we don't touch up too much on politics and we don't touch up too much on the, you know, who's running what over here. But I did say as much as last time that oligarchs in Ukraine, they run different regions. That's the truth. Anybody can look that up. That's information. I'm not afraid or feel ashamed to say, or any kind of consequences for me saying that. That's just normal. So over here, there is a lot of power in different regions that belong to certain people. When you get to Moldova, it's a little different. I think it comes up a lot more to military, or what they call militia over here, or the police, on up to the government. But then the other people, there's a heavy influence, unlike Ukraine, with people from Romania, because Romania is next door. Romania is in Moldova is like a butt. It's a crack in the middle. It's all it is. It's like a line in the middle, and there's Romania. There's like Moldova, and at the very bottom, we're trying to keep it PG. It's Transnistria, and that's a little small country that has its own money. It's not part of Romania, not part of Moldova, and it sits really like right down there. It got its own amount of people, its own police, its own rules, its own money made out of plastic. We're not talking about that. Then you have Moldova, and you have Romania. So Belarus, all that. So you start to have people of different ethnic backgrounds in Moldova who have a foothold. That's what I'll say. And that means the Turkish guys have a foothold over there. And we're talking about, control of the city, right? We're talking about control of the city. We're not trying to say too much, but we're talking about the Turkish guys. They got a lot of control over there. The Armenian guys got control. Like, you can see guys with dark skin lined up in their BMWs making stuff happen around there. Let me say that. So, but outside of that, everything bubbles up to the top. They don't have the oligarchs like we do in Russia and Ukraine. They don't really have that.
Awesome breakdown there, Donald. So, Donald, next question for you, right, is that, so as Passport Bros, I'm pushing more business on this channel. More, brothers getting their wealth, running themselves up, whether that's through crypto, IT, Python, stocks, right? And I think we have to expand, our business acumen abroad as well, countries that are ripe for investment. So in your opinion, brother, right, for Moldova, right, are there investments there that Black men can take advantage of? Is there markets there, in your honest opinion, brother, for investments, businesses?
So for the average businessman, they probably stay far away from Moldova, from the West. The average businessman from the West stays far away from Moldova. It's those guys I was speaking of earlier who spend a lot of time in Moldova. So I think that when we're talking about the Patreon, so we're not going to cover that, but I did touch up that when I was in Moldova, it wasn't always about girls. Like, I was busy. That's why it took me some time to start my dating life, because I already had girls, and also I was busy with my businesses. So when you're part of the Eastern European bloc, when you live this Slavic lifestyle, you find the opportunities. Like, you have to live here. You have to be. That's why I say you visitors is a different for tourists, and visitors is a different type of life, dating, everything, than it is for someone who lives here. Because then you have your eyes and your ears to the streets, meaning that, like, even with the war or issues that were happening in Ukraine, there's people moving, certain cities moving. So you got people calling, hey, is a business over here for sale? Here's some property for sale. Do you want that? These people are moving over here. Like, your eyes to the streets, people in the salons talking, you get information. Same thing in Moldova. So if you're part of the country, or you're there a lot of times, you're gonna hear that, hey, there may be an opportunity down here, because Moldova is known for creating vino. Moldova has some of the hottest vino. So does Ukraine, and so you go over there. In Moldova and Romania, I went to vineyards. I've been to vineyards in California and Texas, and it's like, but then I'm in vineyards over here, and I'm like, oh man, what can we do? And how can I get down? How can I invest? So you have opportunities like that if you know the right person, or you have a product, you have a label, you have some place to sell it. Come over here and hook up with the vino makers, with the wine makers. Go sell it in your own country, put your own name on it. This is where they created it. This is the soil. Okay, so that's one. Then you got your real estate. You're like, hey man, these apartments are cheap. How do I get in over here? I mean, I don't want to be like in Thailand where I got to have a woman, and then if she leaves me, she has the property, and I'm left out with zero. I don't want to be like that. But I do want to get to Eastern Europe, and I say that apartment is 12,000. That's it. 2-bedroom right here, man, I would have to pay, 50,000, 70,000, and or 35,000 a key. So you start finding opportunities. Like you find that, you see them. I see the render signs, like, same way as I was in Mexico. When I was in Mexico, I used to see lavanderia, and I'm like, what's lavanderia? Then I look down, they wash clothes there. Okay, lavender. So I had to learn like that. Same thing in Moldova. I'm learning what the rent signs are. Rent, property rent. Oh, they got a new building coming up over here. Boom. So I talk to my real estate agents. I talk to people I know. So when it comes to a black man investing over here, not if you're far away, you don't want to come over here and get scammed, right? That happens everywhere, right? In Eastern Europe too. Okay, so you don't want that. So you got to come live with the people. You got to come breathe with the people. You got to come eat with the people. Then you find those deals where you're not getting scammed. And this is the honest truth, guys. We're talking to passport bros. I'm gonna let you know. Don't come over here thinking that you're gonna be a kingpin when you don't know the people, you don't know your real estate agent, you sign off on dotted lines, and it's just not going to work like that, gentlemen. But I do say come over here and live, put your time in, because businessmen do come over here, but for those opportunities, they'll go to the next country over. But just keep this in mind, gentlemen. When you live over here, it puts you in another category. Yes, you can have 2 flats in Europe. 2 flats in Ukraine, a flat in Moldova, and then an apartment in Czech Republic. That's possible. All to be up under your name, under your empire for 50,000. You got all 3 for less than 50. You pay 15 over here, so you can create an empire, gentlemen. That part I'm not going to shy away and lie to you and say you can't do, because I'm doing it. So you can create a small real estate empire, and your portfolio has Eastern European countries, Eastern European apartments in it. Okay, which stay full, stay crowded, stay occupied, and then you may have something else going on. You may have so I'm Blaxican, I say I'm Blaxican. So I know Mexicans, they don't have tacos and Mexican food over here. So I've been aware of the fact that, hey man, instead of me bringing over 3 Colombian girls, because in this Moldova story, I can show you pictures and videos of Colombian girls coming to Moldova to hang out with me and my friends for 3 months. I didn't have to bring them girls over here. I can bring a mom and pop. I can bring a mom and pop, husband and wife, to come over here and set up shop. Okay, I know what I can do because I've done it before. I'm just giving you guys game that, hey man, you get over here, there's certain stuff they don't have. Fish and chips, they ain't got fish and chips over here. Okay, cool. So you can be the first fish and chips maker. You don't have to have a brick and mortar. You don't have to go invest in this place that's like 800 pounds a week, 800 pounds a month. You can also get the food cart. There's different ways, but you're the only one that got it. So yes, you can stand out in so many ways when it comes to investing and creating business, seeing opportunities and saying, you know what, let me be the first to do it because they're not doing it over here. So yes, there's a way, but you got to be plugged in with Black Slav Life.
Awesome, bro. Fantastic. So next question for you, brother, is that, so you're a Western black man, you're a Black American man. We want to know how you're treated there by Moldovan people. Let's be real here, Donald. There isn't much black people there in Moldova, and there isn't much black people there now. So how are you treated there, brother, as the only one of the few black men in that country, brother? How did they treat you, as a black man?
I don't know how black men are treated, because ever since I came, the only time I felt like a black man was I was in prison. when I left when I left prison, around all those blacks and those Mexicans, I didn't feel like a black man anymore. I went to a company that was predominantly white. The schools I went to as a kid was predominantly white. My elementary I went to was predominantly white. I've been comfortable by myself, so I'm cool. I don't get that feeling that I'm a black man. I don't think like that. To be honest with you, when you guys come over here, they're gonna see you first by your country, not your skin. Meaning that they're gonna say that's a Western guy, or that's an American guy. No one comes and say, it's a black man. No one says that but us. No, I'm being honest with you. No one tells me I'm black, but when we talked about they call me American. When these guys get in car, say, man, how do you get some girl like you, man? Man, what are you doing over here, man? You're American. No one says, man, you're a black guy. What you doing? Nah, they say you're American. Because they tie you with your country. So if you're from the UK, they're like, man, what are you doing over here? You British? What are you doing here? They're not even your color. They're not paying. The girls paying attention to your color. You got women who are attracted to you, but the people who are not attracted to you, they pay attention to your country, to your aura, to your energy. to your language. So the moment I come over, you know what happens, man? To be honest with you, my phone calls are answered on the first ring. If I don't call, like a lot of times I don't do the call, I have one of my girls call, hey man, just like, oh, is Donald coming back to Moldova? Yeah, we'll be there next week. Okay, we'll have the flat ready. Like that kind of we have it. Yes, because I present myself in that manner. I pay on time, I pay well, I send thank yous. Like it's different. So I don't get the feeling that people, look at my color so much as they do in the West. And gentlemen, please, passport bros, like I'm being so honest with y'all because I'm in the trenches. I'm out here. I'm black. I'm black. I'm black. So I know it. I don't feel that. I don't get that. That's not the response from Eastern European people is they recognize your color so fast. Like that's like, as a black man, you stand out for a lot of more positive reasons than anything negative.
Amazing, brother. So, brother, so what is the image that Moldovan people have of black people? So I'm assuming that, how do I say it? Is there like a lot of American media there, a lot of black British media there, and again from there the NBA, the rap stuff, which doesn't represent me or your other brother, but is that their main image, brother? Is that what's showed out there for black people when it comes to imagery? Have you noticed that, brother? In terms of where did they get the information about black people from?
Okay, so I've had maybe 10, 15 different experiences in Ukraine where people were trying to relate to my blackness. From the first time I was in Crimea, when I heard the word nigger for the first time, but Jeez. It wasn't the nigger. It wasn't that word. It wasn't the word that was with the hard ER that was racist like we've heard in Texas. I'm from Texas, gentlemen. Don't forget that. I'm from the country with the craziest racism, right? Texas, and it's all you can't. I'm from the South, so I understand somebody being racist towards me. But that was not the case when the young man said, nigger, 50 cent. That wasn't the case because I had to break down what he was saying, what he was trying to say. And this is a kid who he sees 50 cent. He sees a black man for the first time, and they hear that word more than they hear the black word. So that was his way of relating to me. He was happy. The same way as the guy say, Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson is how they be saying it. And I'm like, man, I'm not big. I'm not swole. I ain't got no tattoo on me. I don't got that aggressive look. I ain't knocking nobody out. But, thank you for that. That's your way of relating. I like Mike Tyson, too. I like Mike Tyson Doja. I be saying, I like Mike Tyson Doja. I get to talk and get happy with him, too. So their relating to blackness goes across board because they, hey, basket, come, Michael Jordan, come play. I don't play. I don't get down. I ain't got time for that. Okay, so their relation to blackness is always pulling me, not pushing like in the West. Does that make sense? Like we get pulled over here. Your blackness will pull people. So that's in Ukraine. Now, when I get to Moldova, they don't have as much. Outside influences when it comes to blacks as much as the Ukrainians and the Russians have. They just don't have it. No one's coming to Moldova. So they don't see it. They can't relate to it. Asians, Koreans, Japanese, black, they're not coming to Moldova. So if you do go to Moldova, then they want to relate to you, not so much as like, Ukraine's like a lot of excitement, but then they're just people curious. So you go certain places. Yeah, I've been to the hole in the wall clubs where they play rock music. I've been to the place where they play like, Russian music. I've been to the place where they got a little hip hop or they play hip hop when I walk in. There's been places when the music changed. And I'm like, man, that's cool, man. I know that, I know they for me. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but their relation to you is going to be different. Their relation to the average black passport bro is going to be different. But they don't have a relationship with blacks. So you bring it. They don't have that relationship. You bring it. They see you dressed for the first day. They see you going to the gym. They see sportsmen. You sportsmen. And they like that. So that's how they're going to relate to you. Let me say this, gentlemen, the relation to you is going to be very positive. And that's a fact. You'll get more positive responses than you will negative.
Awesome, brother. So in regards to Moldovan people, right? Tell me the personality traits. Are they on average, let's say, extroverted, or are they introverted? Are they outgoing? Are they reserved people? How are Moldovan people like, brother, from a personality perspective?
They're quiet people. I mean, Eastern European people are you know, they're not very loud. They're not very over emotional. That's a Western thing. They're
Mm,
very reserved people. Um, you know, and they're cultured people. I mean, you got the about you know, the city small. When I mentioned Chisinau, which is the main city I go to, the capital of Moldova, it's not a big city that goes up, sort of like Kiev or Moscow, where you have, you know, buildings of 40 stories, 50, you know, then you got high rises, and it's not like that. It's more flat city with buildings that go up in some babushka homes with trees surrounding a little village. You can see the plums hanging out. Then you get over here's a nice apartment. It goes maybe 5 floors. It's not, you don't have those big tall buildings and all those high rises, like, you know, maybe 10 floors the highest. It's not, and it spreads out. So you can pretty much overlook the city almost, you know. So you still see the babushkas outside with the fruit, you know, when the buses are going by and all the people walk, you still see the babushkas outside, just like you do in Russia and Ukraine, where the babushkas got their fresh fruit out there in the city, so you can get fresh stuff without going to the market. Cucumbers, tomatoes, everything that you see in the garden, you'll see out there waiting. Okay, so that's normal in the city. The same as when you go in the villages, you see on the roads the babushkas outside in the back part of their farms. So usually the farms, you know, are coming to the road, and at the road you'll see little chairs where the babushkas sell stuff. So people just pull their cars over, buy fresh plums, fresh fruit, fresh, you know, walnuts or whatever, and then keep on going their journey to where they're trying to go. That's just normal in Eastern Europe. That's normal, so that's normal for Moldova. Very reserved people, very religious. You see a lot of babushkas got their little crosses on and stuff. They got the churches and stuff around there. Conservative people, which we'll discuss in a little bit. So very, very nice people. Very, very, very quiet. Moldova's been quiet throughout all this political turmoil. You haven't heard from Moldova. You won't.
hmm. Amazing, amazing breakdown, bro. So, brother, now when you first ever visited Moldova, right? What was your first impressions of that country? So that's probably about 10 years ago you visited there. What was your first?
The first time was like 2014. I started going over there. 2012. Yeah, 2012. 2012. I started going over there. Actually, 2012.
Okay.
So one thing I noticed, like, you know, I take a lot of bus rides, man. I when I first came over here, I didn't. Of course, I have my own cars and stuff in America, but you know, when you get over here, you take, and you like me, you go to different cities and stuff. You take these buses, you know, you take these trains, and I'm one of the guys, man. I look out the window like a 3-year-old kid, man. I'll just sit there, look out the window. I never sleep. I never sleep. I always be paying attention to where the bus is going, who's getting on it. Even if it's dark, I just be looking out these windows at all these little planes. But one thing I noticed going through plane, when I say plains, I mean it's like a lot of flat grass with sunflowers. That's what you see in Ukraine. You see miles and miles of just sunflowers, all facing the sun or all leaned over, and you'll see that for miles in Ukraine. Farmers land on in Moldova. You just see miles and miles of the same thing. You see miles of farmland. You know, it's some babushka houses along the way, some rough streets, rough roads, there's long rough roads and stuff. But as a what? I got off my question. Sorry about that, boss.
Yeah. So, brother, yeah. So, what was your first? What was your
Okay,
first
my first
impressions of
impression.
your
Thank you, thank
time
you. So my first impression is what I start noticing, man, is that now I notice in Eastern Europe, everywhere, Ukraine, everywhere, like, you know, all these different cities, they got a lot of they were all part of the Russian USSR, the part of the old Russian Eastern European bloc. So a lot of things haven't changed, but in some of these countries, like Ukraine, they've taken down uh, um, statues and head statues of Lenin. War. They got a lot of war memorials everywhere around Eastern Europe. But when I got to Moldova, I noticed they still got the big bald head, you know, proud, big iron, um, big, you know, these big dedications to Lenin and the USSR and World War II. Like you see that everywhere, big ones everywhere. And you're like, man, this is USSR. No, this is Moldova. They ain't taking nothing down. They still got everything up that they had in the USSR days, where I noticed Poland took their stuff down, Ukraine took their stuff. They got a couple of things. They got more Ukraine statues up as opposed to Lenin. You know, Russia, there's Power Russia, but Moldova has theirs up. So that was cool to see. I'm not gonna even lie and cap on that. I like seeing that in Moldova because I just knew instantly I was in a different country. I'm like, man, they took all this down in Ukraine, but here it's still up. Cool. So the country itself is still based on, you know, when the aesthetics, when you look around, it still looks like old Russia. has lots of old factories, same as Ukraine, same as Russia, but lots of old factories. Moldova, lots of old factories that are no longer operable. Old factories. They just like lots of places with buildings that are half built. They stopped building them as if they ran out of money. The budget ran out. Lots of factories that supported the wars back in the days. They no longer fighting wars, not even in this one. So you see a lot of torn down stuff. You see a lot of stuff that's not up and operating anymore. But you see the old trucks running through there anyways. So as a country, I'm not gonna lie, it's not sexy. I just said that before. They don't have the tall buildings. They don't. It's not a sexy place. That's why it just sits in the crack between these other great countries that people go to. So it will look old and Eastern European. That's why it's the poorest. That's why it's the least visited. That's why it's the place you want to be.
So, brother, so from back then up until now, what's changed over time in the last 10 years, brother, for Ukraine? But from the eyes of Donald, what's changed, brother, from 2014 to 2025 now, brother?
So you know what I love about being over here, man? Nothing changes. See, I be telling girls in certain village cities that, when I leave certain village city I stayed at, now I don't live there no more. Then when I go back to that city, I be like, man, ain't nothing changed around here. This is what I like about this place. It's like 1985 Frozen. You see the same old buggy cars. You see the same old buses. Nothing changes. Nothing changes. When I go back 6 years later, I call my same contacts. Nothing changes. I got the same contacts in the phone, the same streets, the same babushkas out there, the same people working at the markets that I go to. They see me, they all smiling. Nothing changes. That's the part I like about it. That's why that country nobody visited it. That's why nobody visits it. That's why it's the poorest country. That's why no men are there. Nothing changes. There's no new McDonald's up. There's no new, that stuff barely happens in Moldova. There's not much change. That's why it's the country that nobody pays attention to. And that right there, something is what I like that, gentlemen. I like leaving Texas and America, New York and Las Vegas and California. And then I come to places that seem like I'm back in time. Then when I go back over there, they got eye scanners. They got all this stuff you got to touch and finger scanners. I'm like, what the, but over here it's still old school. That it's no problem for, I'm gonna keep it PG. So it's no problem for me to tell my friends or somebody still in Ukraine, hey, take this package and send it to me. And they'll take a package, whatever it is, put it on a train, put it on a bus. And that bus driver will take it all the way to the next bus driver, and he'll call and say, I'm handing it over to bus 817. 817 will call them and say, I got the package. I'll be crossing over the border. Make sure your contact is going to pick it up when I get to Chisinau. Now, in America, it's like, man, there's no way a package is getting handed around from bus to bus. But that's what babushkas do. That's what people do. Everybody put on the train. You can put a package on there, and once it gets to the lady on the train, they drop it off based on who's coming to pick up these packages. The bus driver, you can't do that in the West. There's too much policing going on. So I like that old style because any package I needed, I got it. I'd be right there at the Chisinau bus station waiting on bus 187 to come through there. When I see him put up in there running on the buses, he see the black guy, he goes right up into the front, pulls out a bag, don't ask me no questions. I give him a little bit of Moldova money, get back in my car. I'm happy in the mug. It's time for me to chill. That's Moldova. It's old school. That's what I like. That's what some of you gentlemen need sometimes for your world to slow down. You need for everything to stop. You need the noise to stop. You need the bam, 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 bam. You need all that to stop. You need all that to stop locking up the people fighting outside, the protests. You need all that, the political turmoil, the lies, the TV, blah, blah, blah. You need all that to stop. That's Moldova. You ain't going to be watching no TV. It's quiet. It's all about walking outside, getting people like to walk and get coffee. People are walking and getting coffee. You don't see people, everybody walking. There's no Starbucks. Every little small place is hot. Every little small place that sells coffee is popping. People don't just go to Starbucks. There is no Starbucks. So I've said it before and I'll say it again. It's like going back to the past. And some of us dudes, we like going back to the past a little bit, where everything slow down and you feel like, man, I'm a city boy. I come over here, I'm supposed to run game on everybody. Well, that's a good feeling. And it works. And it slows your lifestyle down. You start eating good, thinking clearly, taking your time on what you got to get done, meeting people you probably should have never met or you probably need to meet. So I like that about Moldova. I feel like Moldova is back in time, back in 1990, when all the gangsters was killing each other when USSR broke down. It was happening everywhere. That's the way that country is to me. I like that.
Incredible breakdown, bro. Incredible. So next question for you, Donald, is so as a passport bro that may visit Moldova in the future, what's your recommendations to how do you meet people and make friends in Moldova? So what do you do, Donald? How do you meet people in Moldova? And how do you make friends there yourself, brother?
I've always kept it simple, gentlemen. If you guys have been lucky enough, and I'm sure your listeners are smart and lucky and wise, you guys have heard me on the past podcast where I tell you my lifestyle a little bit, where I keep it very simple. I run that triangle offense where I basically find my apartment, I find my gym, and I find the main store. And I keep that triangle going for a couple of days because I'm out the house every day to do this. And the reason why I say, of course, we got the gym. That's the main thing you got to do every day, gentlemen. Even if you don't want to do it, you go to the gym because that's where all your friends are. You got all the people that get a chance to see you in one spot, who get to practice their English, who get to see you, hit heads with you, talk to you, kisses on both sides if it's a female, possibly dates. It all starts right there because you're in one spot and there everybody's half dressed, sweating. Your guards are down. People want to know who you are. They're gonna meet you at the gym. They're gonna talk to you because you're there. It's comfortable. That walking down the street part, that's different. People don't have that. People, you got to be brave. At the gym, you're dressed down. Your guards are down. You're gonna talk to everybody. So I start there. The second piece is to the market. Now, I go to the market every day because in Eastern Europe, people go to the market every day. That's why the babushkas outside every day because people come downstairs and I get fresh cucumbers. The West, we shop for the month and for the week. Over here, they shop for the day. So you see people grabbing some parsleys or some cucumbers. They got a little small bag. People walk home with a small bag every day because they're not coming home with a big old $300 worth of groceries. Nah, not over here. Don't have the money, don't have the time, don't have the space to put it all. Nah, it's a daily process here, which is cool. That means your favorite girl is out every day. Just like your favorite babushka is out every day, your favorite girl is coming out every day to get something. So boom. So to meet people, I've always been very realistic, very practical. And I tell you guys, I say, man, I meet people at the gym. I meet people at the store because the big market is big. And if you're in there every day, you're gonna have people that see you. The people out there back there that see you with the meat, the chicken, they're gonna come and give you attention. Everybody's lining up saying, "Who's this dude?" He comes every day. You're gonna say, "What do you need?" Then you practice your Russian on breaking down. Give me a kilo. And then the people like, listen, boom. That's where you from? Boom. That's a new friend. Now you have to be you. There's days I've been closed in where people come in, a person or two girls, that happens a lot, will come and talk to me or say, "Hey, Havadi Pongvisky, do you talk English?" I'm like, "Yeah." Like, yes, you do. Yes, you do. I'll say, "No, I don't speak English." They're like, "Yes, you do. This. What's your name?" And I may be going to gym. I may not be in the mood for that. Do you use Telegram? You have IG, Instagram? And I'm like, nah. But later on, I'm like, man, I should have gave her my Instagram. Well, I should have gave those girls my Telegram. Why am I, I have to remind myself because I live here to be more open. For you passport bros, you meet girls at the gym, you meet girls at the market, and then your triangle, what you start doing is you start adding a place to go before you go to your market. And that might be a cafe. That might be a place to go get coffee. So I would just string my girls along. We start getting coffee at the Turkish place because they have Turkish places in Moldova. Everything is, the Black Sea has these countries around it. Ukraine, Moldova, Romania, Turkey, Belarus, like they're around that sea. So they just come on around into Moldova. So yeah, they have Turkish places that you go, coffee shops. You just stop and play. Moldova has a lot of coffee shops with the tables outside. So you coming back with your gym stuff, man, copy your seat, man, get you out there, chill. The lady gonna come out there, you gonna say, "Privet," or "Hello, what's your name?" She's gonna give it to you. She's gonna be happy to talk to you. Where you from? You're gonna get it. You're gonna tell her, "Yeah, cappuccino." Get your coffee, sit down, and now lean to this side and just look. Or lean forward and flex your muscles and look, right? It's up to you. Now, when you're walking, when you're sitting, you can interact with people, men, women, you can talk. Like I told you before, you should be able, if you're all within a day, you should be able to, by the end of the day, come home with at least 6 or 7 numbers. That's how you meet people. It's being open, being presentable, or being where a person can can come talk to you. You're open, like you don't have that mad face. Sometimes I'm walking to the gym, I do look very focused. I'm aware of what's around me, how many cars out here, people going streets and everything, what's going on, but I am focused. So for you guys that are visitors, sometimes you got to be more open than that. Make sure you go knock out your stuff, but then you also more open, more because people will introduce themselves. People will look longer than they should, or longer than than they want to. So you use that as like, you do what's up, you do that. You put your hand out there. Sometimes girls will hit your hand like, "What's your name?" Man, that's all you got to do. Be American, be Western, and you'll meet somebody.
Amazing breakdown, bro. So, brother, next question for you is let me ask this, brother, right? So, transportation. So, if we're in Moldova, capital city, because that's your main base, right? And that's where it all happens, right? The capital city, nowhere else. So, brother, how do we move around? Is it subway? Is it bus? Is it train? Is it Uber? Is it Grab? How would you move around there, brother, as a passport bro?
You don't use the subways. The subways are for the people who live there, who live outside the city, who know where they're going. I never use the subways. The subways is below. Nobody can see you. I stay above ground where I can be seen. Gentlemen, do not come to Moldova and try to well, number one, you're not gonna come to Moldova and rent a car. It's a waste of time. Okay. The city's not big enough. There's not enough hot spaces to go, hot places to go. And the last thing you want to do is be invisible to all the beautiful women. That's 53%. Because you knock it down to 2%. Now you got women who looking into your car and they can't see you. You just a black face. You look like you're about to go rob something. You got to be out walking, available. The places you go, gym, store, they're right there within walking distance. Don't be Western. Put your feet together, because that's how they're going to see you. So when it comes to transportation, you don't get on buses because you don't know where they're going. I'm being simple with you. When you get to these foreign countries, no matter where you go, gentlemen, I wear my triangle so I know where I'm going. I'm not jumping on no bus and ending up on the east side of the city and I don't know how to get back because my language is not that great. I don't. What am I doing over there? So you don't need transportation because you have your triangle. You got your apartment, you got your gym, you got your flat. You got your store. Now, if you got other detours, you got side streets because you saw different cafes. Now you got that's all walking distance to your house, to your apartment. So when you get to Moldova, you won't need transportation. Now, the only time I get transportation, I will get an Uber or something for us to go to a concert or something like that. Or if we're going somewhere a lot further, for the girls to be walking in heels. Other than that, we walk in 100% of everywhere.
Amazing, bro. Amazing. So, brother, now in Moldova, is it a cash society or is it cashless mostly?
Still cash. Remember, we're in the past. Remember, we're in the past, right? So when you go to the major market stores, you can scan. Right? You can go put your card in and get money at the ATM. Boom, boom, boom. But these babushkas, they want their cash. They fold it up, can it, put it in. They don't have no card readers. You go over there, you transfer your funds into the local currency, which is the lei, the Moldovan lei. And I think the Moldovan lei. So you transfer to that. Man, I got all kind of money up in here. Let me see. Are y'all lucky enough? No, this is Turkish lira. Okay, I'm sorry. This is Turkish. I got all kind of money. So my Moldovan money would probably be my other thing, but it's a Moldovan lei, and so you just it's a very cash society because it's still in the old ways. Now you can order your car, of course. You can try to get your food. You can order stuff, but everything's cash because these people, it's the old way.
Amazing. Okay, interesting. So we got to bring a bunch of cash with us, taken out in.
Take it out when you get to. So when you get to your country, I don't like to travel with a bunch of cash because I do believe people pay attention to you on the plane. They pay attention to you when you get off the plane. So I don't never like going to a foreign country with something that people could have seen me on the plane with, because I'm going to their country most likely, and they can always make the call and say, "Hey, I saw this on the plane. Get them." So I don't do that. I don't play that. I think like I'm in the CIA. Like I'm covering my bases from the moment, even on the bus, everything. Like I make sure my taxi going. Like I'm always aware somebody's watching me. So I don't carry a bunch of cash and then get to that country what I do is I leave it in my car and I go to the ATM. I pull it out accordingly. Like sometimes the land, well, not my landlord. In the past, I had landlords. You got to get the cash, right? You got to get the cash out, pay them. Or if I'm getting a different flat for somebody, I pay with cash. But for the most part, I try to do everything, you know,
in the country.
Inside the country, because you always have to
Yep.
protect yourself as a Westerner. You don't want to look like you just walk. Now, listen, gentlemen, crime is low. Ain't nobody coming up to me and test me. So crime is low. Yeah, nobody just come and test the black man and tell you know it ain't gonna happen. It's not gonna happen to you. It's not gonna happen, gentlemen. Just people they don't have it in them to the testosterone that we have in the West. It is that crazy testosterone to stick somebody. They don't have it over here. They ain't got the weapons, the gall. That's not something people practice. So they're not looking at you like that. You don't have to worry about no gang store, waiting for you to go to ATM. None of that. With a knife. I think UK y'all use knives. Texas we use guns. But you know, none of that. Zero of that. So I'm not saying, gentlemen, beware of that. I'm saying beware of your surroundings. You just don't carry a bunch of cash until you need it. Let them do it. I've seen them with cash. I've seen them do stuff. I've seen people be loose and not be aware. I'm not them. I come from a different cloth. So I'm just saying, you guys, y'all just don't make sure you got a big bulk with you. I'm just go ahead. Can you trade this in and give me back? This is 3,000 pounds. Try to give me back 8,000 lays so I can be like, nah, man, keep that to yourself, homie. You got your stuff for you to survive off of. The rest is on your card, and you keep it like that, gentlemen. You travel light, gentlemen. You travel light.
Amazing. Great breakdown there, brother. Great breakdown. And awesome. So, okay, brother. So when you take out money in Moldova, do you have like a Chase bank account that doesn't charge foreign exchange fees? And do you do it? And brother, do you do it? And do you do it in the post office or in a bank there in Moldova? So 2 questions in one.
No problem. So my Chase count gonna get ate up. So when I'm over here, my Chase count gets ate up. So I can go pull money from the bank. I think I got what I needed. Then I go check my account like I did today. And there's a deduction because of currency. There's a deduction here. There's a deduction because it's not a Chase bank. There's a deduction. And I'm like, ah. So I stopped using my Chase card a long time ago. That's why I got girls. I ain't chasing nothing. So I stopped using my Chase card. And meaning that I don't like putting my Chase card. And then you oh man, I put my Chase card in a country and it didn't come back. I gotta try to read this number and contact who you don't want that, gentlemen. Don't be coming over here playing like that. Your main card, you should treat it like your main gal. Keep it at home. What you do is you either have a prepaid card or you try to keep your main card from being accessed so much. Meaning that you don't want to be putting it in banks because you don't know who's scamming what bank. You don't know which bank, which ATM is gonna mess up. You gotta wait 24 hours to get your card back, and you don't know who to call. Don't, gentlemen. I didn't been through it before.
Damn.
I'm telling you, that's like a mad situation to go through. So I learned a long time ago not to be having my Chase card so visible, so used, so accessible for them and for the banks to be taking different currencies as things change, right? So I got updates today with $12, $4. I'm like, wait a minute, I only spent $8, but it's currency changes and things like that. So that's one question. The second question was what?
Second one was, do you take the money out from the post office or bank?
No. Okay. So ATM. I still do ATM. I do my market ATM. Me and my girls, I teach my girls, I teach my team safety as if we're traveling. Even though I'm staying there for 3 months, there's certain things I teach them. We don't like to do crazy ATM. Now, Eastern Europe, you can do an ATM anywhere, any time of the night, because you don't have that problem. But what I like to do is, because when I'm in Moldova, I don't do a lot of late night crazy stuff. I do try to keep it where I take the ATM at the market where I'm seen, the market where people see me, the market where I can get security, the market. I go to that, remember that triangle? So I have safe zone. That's my safe zone. You guys got to have a safe zone and people that see you all the time. So if you needed any kind of help or assistance, unlike me, you have somebody there who can help you because they see you all the time and they're going to try to break down what you're trying to say and help you because they see you that often. That's the importance of running through your triangle, of going to the same gym, same store, same market every day, because there's an identity aspect. Does that make sense? That's helped me get glasses back. I left my glasses over here. Hey, you left your glasses here. I mean, you got my glasses? I was gone for a whole 3 months. You still got my glasses, my shades? Like that. That's what happens when you're in the same place every 3 times and you're a good person. That kind of stuff. So I go to the market. You can use foreign ATMs, but we see so many scam opportunities in the West with ATMs that you don't want to come over here and use any ATM and it happen. I know it don't be here, but it could be here. So I use the market where everybody's using that ATM. The cash is coming out. The cameras are right there. It has English options on there. So I always use where a place, especially when I'm grabbing my cash, right? So yeah, I do it there because at that market, there's people grabbing more cash, there's more stuff popping. I do it at the market. Now, again, I don't have a problem when I'm in Moldova to go to an ATM that's on the side, but certain cities they don't be having them everywhere. So the market is just a safe zone. It's a good spot. If your card gets lost in there, somebody can help you immediately. It's just the smart thing to do, gentlemen. I'm giving you guys tips so that you don't have to experience what I've already gone through before.
Awesome breakdown, bro. So, brother, as you know, Moldova, small country, former USSR nation. So, I want to ask you, brother, right? You as a Western black man would, I assume, have more money than the average person in Moldova, right? And you're probably known there in some aspects there. So,
yeah.
do they charge you more for things, and do they try and hustle you, brother? Do you find that you have to pay people, right, to get things done more than it originally is charged, brother? Is that how it is out there in Moldova?
For me, no, sir. No, sir. There is no what they call it, a Western tax. There is no Western tax. See, when you spend time here, you can do stuff like when you do call a taxi, and he take a different way to your house, you can call him out. Come on, gentlemen. When you're a tourist, you come over here, you do Airbnb, you get scammed. You can possibly be scammed. You can do stuff. Those things you don't have to be doing, gentlemen. I'm trying to let you know. You don't have to worry about that. That's not something you got to worry about when you get here. So I don't worry about that. Nobody taxes me in any kind of way. I get the price because number one, I live here. I'm not a visitor. I live amongst the people. I'm around the people every day. Then I spend so much time. Secondly, my secret that I started using when I first came over is that when my language was real weak, I used my girls. Why they gonna lie to my girls? My girls don't even say, like, it's times now when I get in a taxi downstairs or I get a taxi, they be like, Yulia? Maurice? I'm like, nah, man, that's my girl, man. That's the other girl that call you, man. It's for me. like they be thinking, like, hey, man. So it's the same way over there. So I say, man, tell them the American. But I would tell my girl, say, man, tell them the American's coming. Or when they call, they know. Like, tell them the black dude's coming. So I don't get Western taxed at all because I understand the prices. I understand what's going on around here. Like if that's different. If I'm a Westerner, they may say a little bit more because they try that sometimes. They try it. Sometimes these people don't know I've been to the country 13 times. They don't know I've been to Egypt 4 times. They don't be knowing I've been over here to Turkey 10, 12 times, to Istanbul, and then to Antalya, Turkey 2 or 3 times. So when you get in a taxi, sometimes they don't be knowing. So if they say the wrong price, you're like, stop. Nah, man, I'm getting a different taxi, man. I know how much it costs. Hey, I was here. You got to pull out your passport. Yeah, you got to check them. That's a masculine thing, especially when you got girls in the car. You got important stuff in your bag, and you ain't trying to get ripped off. Like, man, like, nah, man. It's been times when I took a group of us from Moldova. We caught a plane from Moldova to Romania. When we got to Romania to Bucharest, we found a taxi, but we were trying to get from Bucharest to Constantinople, which is Constanza, which is way on the sea. Bucharest is way in the city, so we had to have a 3-hour drive just to get to the Black Sea. That was like 2:00, 2:30 in the morning. Man, the 2 girls I'm with, they was in a taxi like this. Me, I'm in the taxi in the front seat like this, looking at him, watching the sides, watching them in the mirror, watching everything outside. Man, we 3-hour drive. This is not no movie taking. This is not no kidnapping situation. Let's get rid of the black dude. We got 2 fresh girls up in here. Man, I got to be fully awake and aware. The same thing applies in Moldova. Okay, so you always got to be aware of your surroundings. Don't be the one that's so tired in the back. You're gonna wake up and you're gonna be in some village area with a whole bunch of what they call them, those Romanian I forget them, man. The gypsies. You're gonna be in the woods somewhere surrounded by 100 gypsies, and they trying to get out everything in your bag. So gentlemen, you always have to be aware. Act like somebody's out to get you even when they're not. So you don't get taxed because you carry yourself a certain kind of way. And it's also important that you do your research. Get on the computer, check and see what the flat is you're trying to go, check and see what the taxes is, location from here to here. Do I need a taxi? Gentlemen, I do full research before I go places all the time. My girls will see me in here for a whole week. I'm sitting up here just smoking, going through. I know, and I get on the Google Maps and I go down the street, I go to the side streets. Like when I get there, I know, oh, I saw this building before. Because I went through the Google Map process just to make sure I'm safe. And I'm 50, been doing this for a long time. I'm good. I work out all the time, ready to fight anybody, do what I gotta do to protect myself. And I still got to practice to make sure I got the run right. So you guys can get taxed by taxi drivers. You shouldn't get taxed by but you shouldn't be in a taxi. You shouldn't get taxed you could get taxed by the real estate agent, but you shouldn't be using real estate. You should go online, find them, call them, tell them when you coming. They glad Americans coming. Put it in your card in, it'll say it's booked. When you get there, they'll tell you where to meet them for the key. Listen, I'm so special. The real estate agents came to the airport to pick me up. So some of this stuff, I'm not a content maker. So some of the stuff I'll be telling you, I try to speak from y'all's point of view and then from mine. The real estate agents then would come to the airport and pick me up, not the bus station. They would come get me at the airport because they thought that my business was so important for them. Does that make sense? So if you're in a Western, you will get treated just a little bit different when you invest your money in places nobody's investing their money. Does that make sense?
Facts. Yeah.
So don't be thinking all the time somebody out to get you. Sometimes people be out to serve you. Y'all don't know nothing about that. No, y'all don't know nothing about that. So I'm saying too much. I'm supposed to keep it PG. I'm sorry. That was X-rated. I'm sorry, man. Y'all don't know, man. When I got over here, I wasn't gonna be getting people running game on me. Not from Texas. I'm black. We from the city, from the UK. We know game. Nobody can come say, "Can I have $1?" Man, I saw you 2 blocks away watching me walk with these girls. You knew I was walking up. You didn't ask nobody. I saw you. All these people walk by you, but you asked the American man. Say, you know what? How about you give me $2? I've been watching you for 2 blocks, so you can't be one of these. Oh, I'm just walking around with girls. Like, nah, don't be him. You got to be aware of your environment. Paying attention. The girls yapping. You just, oh, yeah, I got you. Yeah, all right. You got to be aware, gentlemen. So ain't nobody scamming you. You scamming people.
Facts, bro. I like that. Facts. When I go abroad myself, yeah, I'm aware, bro. I ain't gonna be feeling like,
I'm looking in mirrors. I'm looking in windows. We can be looking outside. I'm looking at the window that's looking back into the building. They're like, man, why you looking? Man, I saw you. I saw you when looking. Man, I see everything, man. I don't want to get tonight in the car with my lawyer. We was in the middle of the city here in Kiev, and we heard a honking of the horn. And I'm looking around the car in her exotic car, her luxury vehicle. I'm looking all around and stuff. She's like, Donnie, what are you looking for? And she said, I thought I heard a door shut. Like, I don't want nobody run up to the car. You know, it's that awareness. Now, I'm not a gangster. I'm not doing nothing crazy over here. But you got to carry yourself as if you're worth something, and I am. My insurance policy is high in the mug, and I don't get a dime. But I got to protect myself because I'm overseas, and you always got to be. And what that does is that keeps you sheltered. That keeps you taken care of. That keeps you from getting taxed. That keeps you from getting robbed. That keeps you people looking at you and say, man, that dude's military. Okay, thank you. I'm trying to protect me and my team. Go ahead.
Facts. So, brother, next question for you, brother, right, is food, right? So, Moldovan food, brother, do you like it? Is it tasty? And what's your favorite Moldovan cuisine, brother?
So if anybody was here for the last, when we discussed Ukraine, I'm not a big fan of Ukraine food, but it keeps me trim. I can see my body from top to bottom. I look good. I take care of myself. I ain't got no extra fat on me. That's all Ukrainian food. So when you get to Moldova, it's a step down. They don't have a great cuisine that everybody talks about like they do Ukraine and Russia. They don't have a great dish that you got to be from Moldova and know them dishes like that. So me, all I did is just go to the store, to the magazine, and get the food I like, and me and the girls would cook that. Now, one thing about Moldova, again, it's closer to the darky countries. Meaning you got the Romanians, you got the Turkish. So their food, Georgian restaurants. I found two Texas barbecue places, but I think I only went to one. Not Texas barbecue, just American barbecue places. I went to one. It was like supposed to be an expat owner. But other than that, no. It's just the food's is not great. You can't find dishes you like. You can't go to the store and get a big chicken and cook it. You can't get the seasoned chicken. You can't go get all this stuff and make it. but it's just going to be a step down. You know, it's going to be basic dishes that you won't be excited about once they present it to you. So it's better just to go try to get a steak and, you know, try to get something. And you'll see, I mean, or some shishlik, what they call shishlik, which is basically shish kebab, meat on the shish kebab, like the Georgians and the Turks do. And you find places like that you gravitate to because it's more Western. You see meat getting burned up. Like, I'm a man, meat getting burned up. I understand that. But this other stuff, like, I don't really understand these vegetables. I mean, it just looks very healthy. I'll eat it, but I need some substance to my meal so I can feel fat like a Westerner. That you can always find in Moldova. But you will see their restaurants full, and you will see other restaurants full because these countries are eating places. They love to eat. That's why I told you, man, I got to bring over a mom and dad Mexican to come over here. These people love to eat. Like during coronavirus, eating was going down. During the war, eating's going down. Like those shops didn't close. You know, they were popping. So one thing over here is people will eat. It may not be to your Western palate. It may not be to your Western, you know, you need more fillings, but you can find that too, gentlemen. So I don't have a Western, a favorite Moldovan dish. I can't even tell you what their favorite dish, like borscht, is for Ukraine. I can't tell you. It looks very similar to Ukrainian food. I see the babushkas making the same thing the Russians and Ukrainians make. When I look down at it, and you know, I may order a little bit of salad or potato salad, but I just go get what I want, which is usually chicken. You know, the basics that keeps us with our protein for our muscles. No dish that stands out in Moldova, and you guys will see it when you get there too.
Awesome, bro. Brother, tell me about cost of living, right, in Moldova, where you compare America to Moldova cost of living, right? Is Moldova cheaper? And when you also compare Moldova to Ukraine, is Moldova also cheaper as well? And brother, I'm assuming that your dollars go very far and your euros go very far in Moldova, bro, to the point where you live like a king, right?
That is right, sir. I'm not here to brag on myself, but like I said before, I don't make content. This is just my life. So yeah, so the Moldovan real estate is cheap. Ukraine real estate cheap. There's more of it here. Moldova real estate seems to be cheaper. Now that's why for so many years, gentlemen, 8, 9, 10 plus years, I had an apartment in both countries all that time. So because the real estate over there, so the first apartment that I was staying for long term was around, you know, 250. Then I started living in an apartment every year that was like 500 a month. Okay. So I chose the 500 a month because I had extra friends from Ukraine. Like when I leave Ukraine, you think my girls ain't sick? When I leave Ukraine, you think people ain't sick and I'm not gonna be here for 3 months? And like, man, why you not gonna? So yeah, some people come with me. So I get a big enough space over there. So the real estate over there is very, very good. And yes, it's negotiable. You know, you can negotiate with them people. They want your money, especially when you got them euros or them pounds sitting right there and you ready. You know, if you didn't do it before you got there. So yeah, you're able to live like a king. Moldova is the poorest country in Europe. I didn't know. I was just coming over here doing what I do. I go to the gym. I eat good every day. I pay for this little rent. It wasn't, I don't walk around here saying, hey, it's Moldova. Like, no. I have a very conservative, focused lifestyle. So I didn't feel it. I didn't walk around feeling it. I just knew I had a place here, a place there, and I helped pay, you know, other things I got going on. But yeah, it's the poorest country in Europe. So the real estate, you guys can come over here for short-term, long-term rental, and pay 1/3 of what you're paying in the West. Pay 1/4 of what you're paying in the West. For more space sometimes. Better views, meaning when I say better view, I look at my high rise here. I look at my high rise in Moldova, and especially the one I had that's above the market where I can see the view. It's a nice view. So if it's 53% women, you got a 53% good view outside your apartment. That's a pretty good odds, especially when a lot of men working busy, overseas working, a lot of men ain't walking around the country yet, because if it's 91 men, like men are working, men are busy. So you just see a bunch of females and teen boys, right? So the view is good. The apartments are nice, fully furnished. Everything comes with them. They give you a key, sometimes 2 keys, depending if you got, you know what I'm saying, you got somebody with you. The land, you know, the people respectful. Your stores are not far away. So real estate It's cheap. Life is cheap. Food is cheap. I spent the most on like my food and stuff, man, because I got a house to feed and stuff, but it's pretty cheap. The cost of living is very cheap. It's something to take advantage of. So yes, your money goes longer. Now, if you're living there, that means your lifestyle. You're not paying for the cars. You're not paying for all this stuff. You got a cheap apartment. You got a cheap lifestyle. Then, however you make money, seems your money's doing this now. Because you're not in the West where you're spilling it. You're not doing all this frivolous dating with girls who don't want you. You're not wasting it on cars and gas. You're not wasting on high bills, lights and stuff like that. Your light bill comes back is like $35, $40, like $100. The lady just sent me my bill for this 3-bedroom place right here, and it's like $187. I got a full apartment in the high rise. You know what I'm saying? Here, 35 floors here. So $187 for all of December's. And it's cold here, snowing. That's nothing, right? So in comparison to the West, yes, you will take, if you make 1,500 pounds a month, 2,500 pounds a month, 3,000 pounds a month, then you come over here and you only got to spend about 400, 500 pounds. You tell me how much of a king you gonna feel.
Damn, amazing, brother. So, brother, next one, right, I have to ask you is, so when it comes to cell phone roaming for you, I'm guessing, is it different, or does Ukrainian cell phone providers work in Moldova, or do you have a separate phone for Moldova cell phone roaming?
Okay, so I got separate phones. So I got multiple phones. But listen. The Ukraine number works in Moldova.
Wow.
So when I got over here and I saw that, I was like, hey, you can call it. So that works. Okay, the numbers work. What I did, so I don't change nothing. I don't change any phones when I go over there. I don't make any changes. Now, keep in mind over here, people use apps more. So it's Telegram, WhatsApp, Viber. People use that. When I meet girls or I meet people, I give my WhatsApp and my Telegram. So I really don't need the phone card. Now, I did get a little Nokia, and I got I had a Moldovan girl take me to go get a SIM card. And I think that, I was telling you about her the other night, the one I didn't close the deal on in Moldova. I was telling you about, she went and got me a SIM card on the phone because we were contacting, I was talking to her and a few other Moldovan people. When we want to call a taxi from Moldova, I needed the phone because we really wasn't doing the Uber thing. It was a call. So I did get a flip phone, a throwaway phone, and I put a Moldova SIM card in it. But that was just for key Moldova reasons that I needed it. Other than that, I never got the SIM. I always use my Ukrainian number or just my regular internet.
Awesome, brother. Awesome. So, brother, now in terms of safety, right? Safety in the daytime, in the nighttime, when you're clubbing by yourself, or you're by yourself, or with your woman, partying. Is Moldova more safe than dangerous, or are there situations where you feel like, okay, ish might go down, brother? Overall, has it been a safe country for you to stay and visit?
Very safe. You know what's considered crime, gentlemen? So you never really see police. So you never really see them. That's one thing about being in Eastern Europe. The police state dies. That police everywhere, all up in your business, all knocking on the doors, all behind cars, all where. That stuff is dead, man. And I like that. So I'm gonna tell you the crime that I see in Moldova. Oh man, the crime I see in Moldova is, for the Patreon future shows, man, I might start having a Ukraine girl on here, a Moldovan girl, because it's easy when you hear from them, but they the ones who pointed out to me because they experience it more. So now, excuse me, gentlemen, I'm far from. This is not a racist statement. It's nothing like that. They refer.
Sorry, bro. Remember, keep it PG, Donald. Right? Nothing.
No. I'm saying the word darkies. The word darkies. So the word darkies is a word. Of course, I always keep PG. The word darkies is a word that they use over here that refers. And I'm a darkie. I'm black. So when I first heard it, I'm like, who are you telling darkie? So I had to look back and see who the darkie was because I'm black, and no one refers to me as black. They refer to me as American. So when I first, going back to what we said earlier, of them referring to someone by their color, it would be the gypsies. It would be people who are like Romanian, Kazakhstani, and they're dark skinned people, dark hair, and they're not in school. The kids are not in school during the day. They're out begging. The women are out begging, and you'll see the men doing other things. But then they all live in a group together. So a lot of times we refer to them as gypsies. Now these people are always at bus stations, subway stations, and crowded public things like that. Okay, so they commit small petty theft crimes, which to me that's just big city crimes that people commit. Minorities are not, darkies are not. But that's the crime. Okay, so meaning that petty theft crime. Does that make sense? That's not crime to us in America.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Mm.
So that is what the crimes we see. So have I seen a drunk guy rammed his car into a building because he was on vodka? No, I've been there 13 years and you don't see a bunch of cars. You see that in Texas, you see that in America, you see that in the West. Drunk people driving, crashing. Then I get over here, I'm like, why is everybody drunk but nobody's crashing? What is going on over here if people are drinking so much but they're not crashing? But in Texas, there's 50 of them a day in my city. So that's been always strange to me. So crimes here don't parallel to crimes in the West at all. At all. Meaning that crime is lower here. When you see someone in a police car, you see a police in the front driving, a police in the passenger seat, you see a police on the back door, you see the person in the middle, no handcuffs, and you see a police on the other side. And you see 5 people in the car. That was the person going to jail. Now in America, that person's been beat up, possibly shot, handcuffed, put in a pig tie, both feet and legs, and wrapped around in like Hannibal style in the car for just running a red light, right? So we know, to me, I'm like, what did he do? Looks like they're back in the car drinking, they're having a good time. Like that's going to jail, and so it's just different, gentlemen. It's like being in 1985. The crime that we have in the West, you won't see prevalent here in Eastern Europe. So you're not going to see that. You're not going to see a car going real fast and the cop chasing. You're not going to see somebody running like, nah, man. Cops come up and talk to you. You see the person giving up, pulling out their pockets and stuff, and showing their bag at the store. Like, hey. You don't see nobody running, nobody trying to haul. So, no, sir. That's why I say I feel safe. I'm safe, but I'm on a swivel. I'm on a swivel. I'm safe though. I'm over safe. I don't have any spider things on my neck like I'm going through Atlanta or Notting Hill or something. I don't have no crazy but I'm looking for it and I can't find it. So a lot of times my friends be like, chill, Donnie, like chill. Like we not in Turkey, Istanbul, we not in Egypt, we not in Dubai. Like, you can chill because I'll be looking for it. And the crime, the factor is gonna be real low. It's gonna be real low. This little bit darky girl right here trying to take put her hand in your purse. That's not a crime. You slap it off. Let's keep going. You know what I mean? Like to me. So I'm just telling you the levels of crime that people complain about is those people are pickpocketing and stuff like that. In America, we have never heard that crime before. We always hear that's TV stuff. The crimes we hear are way more prevalent. So that's what I mean, and that's the highest level of that's the highest level, going back to the darky thing. That's the highest level of people referring to somebody of dark skin when they say the darkies, and they be talking about the Romanian or gypsy looking kids. So that's what I mean by that.
So, bro, but even with that, right? So obviously you'll be out there in the streets walking around with beautiful women in a majority white country. You're telling me that they don't feel some type of way about a black man with so much beautiful white women? You get no weird looks, no weird talks, no weird vibes around people, especially when you walk around with a beautiful white woman as a black man?
No, because usually I have more than one. Matter of fact, it'd be a running joke sometimes when I go in the gym or certain babushkas. They're like, that black guy, he always have a very tall, beautiful blonde and a little short brunette pretty girl. He has different, like it's like my girls is like somebody to say it. Like I don't get ugly looks, man. There's too many ugly guys walking around with very beautiful women for me to be getting ugly looks.
Damn.
Why y'all look at me? Look at him. I'm clean. I'm good. I got investment. I'm saved. I'm okay. I got these girls. I got more girlfriends. What is he doing with her? So no, it's normal. Like I said over here, 5-1, or that's Ukraine. and over there, almost 2 to 1, right? So if it's 52% women, like, come on, man, it's a lot of dudes walking around with a pretty girl. I'm nothing new. I'm not different. Like, I might be different, but what I'm walking around with is normal, almost. Now, if I'm bringing them from Ukraine, sometimes it's step up, and we talked about that too on Patreon. But I don't get ugly looks. I don't get strange looks. It goes back to like, who are you? If it's like that. I don't get those kind of looks, man. I don't feel it. I don't get it. I don't even be looking for it. Like, I know what's going on when I walk around, no matter what city I'm in. So I don't be getting strange looks. It just comes with the territory. Like, I'm pretty much known for having, yeah. That's just how it is. That's how it is. No, nobody's gonna give you strange looks over here because a lot of men walk, they have beautiful women over here. So you only stand out because you probably got more than one, and you dress well.
Okay. So, brother, let me ask this, right? So, racism, right? Let's go deeper into that, right? So, in your time in Moldova, you were telling me that you have not experienced any sort of physical racism, any sort of, institutional racism, any sort of racism where you're being held back as a black man from investments or making money or doing great things. Racism from the view where no one in Moldova, specifically Moldova, not Ukraine, but Moldova, has called you the N-word or any sort of racial slurs in their language. No sort of racism at all, but in Moldova. Wow.
No, see, keep in mind. Remember, I noticed when I was over there, less than Ukraine, there's more darker skinned men from Turkish backgrounds, Armenian backgrounds, Kazakhstan backgrounds. There's a lot of dark skinned men that spend time in Moldova. As you get towards Moldova, Romania, the men change. It's a whole bunch of dark skin. So when I come up in there, it's like, hey, it's just one me, but it's thousands of them. So if there's going to be any racism, it's going to be starting with them. They're everywhere, right? So they're doing their dating. They're trying to find their special princes. You know what I'm saying? A lot of those guys, they're Muslim and stuff like that. So when they date, they may have mistresses and stuff, but they be trying to find that one girl to have a family with. So they be looking for that pretty princess. They always be looking for that. So I used to be. How do I put this? I used to be, when I first got over here, I used to be always looking for that. I'm looking for racism. Like, I lived in Texas so long, I didn't look for it, I expected it. Now, when you get over here, why are you looking for it? Like, it's like a program. You program, right? Because I'm black, I gotta look for. Man, I stopped doing that, man. I'm too busy for that. I wasn't looking for that when I was working in my company, coming from where I come from. I wouldn't. As I travel the world, I don't be looking for that. When I'm in Egypt, Dubai, Ukraine, Russia, I don't be looking for anybody, and nobody reminds me of it. So when I get to a country where there's a lot more dark skinned men that are driving around nice cars, they got girlfriends and stuff, I just be holding it down the way I hold it down. There's no black men here. I'm representing for the only black man. But these people are not coming to me with the only racism they have towards the black man. Like, they're not going to give it to me. They may save it for somebody else, but they're not going to give it to me. So I don't never get that. I don't get crazy looks at the gym. I don't get crazy looks when I'm out eating, when I'm at the bars or cafes. None of that, sir.
Awesome, bro. So, brother, next question for you, right, is so assuming that you're not, let's say, you want to move out of Ukraine, you want to leave it completely, right? Well, obviously have your interest there. Would you actually live in Moldova, brother, for the rest of your life or for a long, long time? Or is that something like a hotspot for you where you want to try out for a bit, go there for a week or a month, then come back to Ukraine? Or do you see yourself there living in Moldova for a long time and potentially permanently, brother? Or a long time at least, brother? Or if so, why? If not, why?
That's a good question. You've asked me a lot of questions. That's a good one right there, Pete. Man, I wouldn't put. Now, I know I've been to Moldova more than any other country other than Ukraine. I mean, I stayed there longer. I've gone to Turkey probably just as many times, if not a little bit more, but I just didn't stay as long. I wouldn't make Moldova my home. Now, you're saying so you're saying if I had to leave Ukraine and I can't come back?
Correct. Yes. You want to?
Okay.
Will
So if I
Moldova be
couldn't
your
come back,
permanent home?
okay, so let me give you an example. That's a good one right here. So one time in 2019, I flew my brother all the way to come visit me. My brothers, I'm 50. I'm 51. My brother's 49. We're 2 years apart. My birthday's December 13th. My brother's birthday December 12th. My brother's been like my best friend. He was there for me when I came home. We moved in together. I started working hard. He's been proud of me. I moved away. He's taking care of his kids back home. But he didn't get a chance to see everything I've seen. So we talk every day. He knows what's up. I flew him over here. So I flew him to Ukraine. He stayed with me for 2 weeks. So part of that Ukrainian trip was I wanted to show him not only Ukraine, but I wanted to take him to Turkey because I shop in Turkey. I would go buy a lot of my clothes, suits, and everything in Turkey. I don't shop in Ukraine. So he was here for 2 weeks. We had a great time. And then the last part of his trip, we got to go to Istanbul for like 2 days. So now I knew when my brother came, this is before I started getting my permit for Ukraine. I knew that my visa was up, but because usually I have no problems of paying when I'm at the airport, I didn't think it's going to be a problem when we left. So long story short, me and my brother and one of my girls, we leave Ukraine. We leave the city we were in, and we had to travel to a different airport because at that time it was so much snow. The flights for the airport we wanted to go to shut down, so we had to go to a different one. The first time going to this airport, meaning I know people at the bus, at the crossing over the border through the bus on different borders. I knew a couple of officers who worked in the airport that we wanted to go to, where I paid. These are all places I've paid before because I overstayed my visa. But this one particular place I've never flew out of. I've never met the people. I've never paid anybody. Don't know which officer to ask. Don't know. So I don't know what's going to happen when me and my brother and them show up to leave Ukraine. When we get there, they pull me to the side. Hey, you've overstayed. Sign these documents. Sign these documents. I'm like, man, whatever. They didn't give me anybody to pay. So I'm like, okay, this is different than usual. But I'm with my brother. I got to leave the country because we're going to go to Istanbul. I get on the plane late. We were the last 2 people on the plane because they held us back with all. I got more documents to sign than ever before. I was like, man, that's weird. So boom, we get on the plane, we go to Istanbul, we stay for 2 days. Boom, shop, take my brother shopping, get him on the plane back to Texas. Me and my girl come back to Ukraine. The unfortunate part is that we had to go back to that same airport instead of going to different airports like Kiev and the Prepetrovsk, different airports. Like we had to go back to that same airport. So when we got back to that same airport, because it was a round trip ticket. When we got back, they wouldn't let me in the country. This is the first time. This is the first time in all these years. My girl looking crazy. I got other people calling me and stuff. They're not letting me through. Nobody wants to be paid. Nobody. They said, nah, you're not supposed to be here. That's why you signed these documents when you left. I'm like, really? Said, yeah, you can't come here for 3 more months. I'm like, man, I got a life here. Apartments just never happened before. Like, I know how many times I paid to get in. This is before I get my permit. This is the last time this happened. And I'm like, what you mean I can't come in? Man, I got my bags here, my girl. So they're like, nah, we have a place. We're going to put you upstairs here at the airport. You're going to stay there for a couple of days, and we're going to kick you out the country. And I'm like, y'all can't do this, man. I got a whole lifestyle, whole business. I got 55 girlfriends here. He's like, nah, man. So they put me upstairs. They gave me a nice room. I stayed in that room for like 2 or 3 days. And then they bought me a ticket back to Turkey. This is me. This is 2019. I'm like, man, it's 2018. I mean, y'all crazy. Like, so I'm thinking to myself, okay, they're going to buy me the ticket and send me to Turkey. And I don't have a place in Turkey. I'll be all right. But so I went back to Istanbul. I stayed there for 3 days and I got me a ticket to Moldova. So my girl, she calls my landlord, tell them I'm arriving. So I come off the plane in Moldova. I got 2 people waiting for my real estate agents. So I'm not by myself because of the contacts I've made. Now, when I get there in Moldova, now I know I have to stay 3 months. So I gave them the money for 3 months. I just, after all this trouble, I paid for my brother, bought all his clothes and everything. Now I got to pay for 3 whole months here. And I got rent. I got stuff I got to pay for back there. But my real estate agents, then were available for me in Moldova. They came and picked me from the airport, took me to my flat, set me up. So I can't ask for more. Like that was the situation where it's like, they kicked me out the country. So if I was to get kicked out the country and I couldn't come back, Moldova was my spot. So I sat over there for 3 months. That was the first time I stayed there for all 3 months, all the way. And I was like, you know what? Now I know what's up. They kicked me out. Now I got to stay here 3 months. I had to go through Moldova, get a stamp and everything to come back to Ukraine. But if I was to get kicked out of Ukraine, would I stay in Moldova? I would almost say yes, because that was the way all my contacts had access to me. I say contacts. But that's the way they had access to me. They could all come straight over to Moldova to see me. They can flow over here. I wasn't that far away. But if I could never go back to Ukraine, I don't know if Moldova will be my spot. The only reason why it was my spot is the proximity to Ukraine. That's flowing over from what I needed on the buses, what I needed for my girls. That all that free flowing action is what I needed. But if I could never go back and I had to cut everything off in Ukraine, there's no way I would stay in Moldova in that boring ass place. Excuse my language. There's no way I would stay in
Wow.
that country. There's no way I would stay in the least. There's no way, gentlemen. It's a spot you go to, you find your wife, you have your money, your business, and you go here to save. You go here to keep your wife from going back to the West, where she won't get doctrinized. You got to keep her here. You stay here where your money that's gone in the West stays in the East. You would stay there to benefit from being in the poorest place, to benefit from being where there's more women and less men, to benefit where there's no black men. You would stay there for that. Nothing else, gentlemen. You're not going to make no money there unless you're deep involved. You got your girl doing stuff for you, your wife. You're not going to have no fun there unless your wife is helping you have fun. It's not that kind of place, gentlemen. You're going to have to visit, find what you're going to find, experience what you want to experience, and move around unless you're ready to root yourself into that country. No, I wouldn't choose. If I had a choice and I couldn't come back to Ukraine, I would not stay and live in Moldova. You would not be contacting me as the Moldovan guy. Nah. There's too many other places for me to live. There's too many places I've taken, I'd probably do Portugal, Spain. To be honest with you, I'd probably do Russia before I did any other place. To be honest with you, yeah, I'd probably go even more. I might do Georgia, Russia, deeper. Not Moldova.
You've been Japan before?
It's on my list, IP. It's on my list.
I love to see you in Japan. I love to see you in Japan, Donald, man, to see how you feel about Japanese women.
I love that was where I was supposed to go before I did all this, man. I spent 8 years of reading Vietnamese stuff, and I wanted to go to Vietnam. I spent time. My Thai girlfriend. I got this. I got Thai necklaces. I got Japanese artwork on my body on both sides. I'm supposed to be there, and I got sidetracked on my journey. Put it like that.
Okay, brother. Hopefully this year you might make a trip out there for holiday, and hopefully.
Amen. Are you there? Are you there?
No, I'm not in Japan, bro. But I went there last year.
Okay.
It was good.
How long did you stay?
I was there for just over a week last year. Sorry. Then before last year, I was there for, was it 2 or 3 weeks? Can't remember. So I was there longer in 2023. So I say, brother, at least 2 weeks in Japan, bro, for you. Or month. If you can do a month, even better, bro.
I'd love to, man. I've been to Japan, little Japan in San Francisco. I've drank the sakis. I've collected stuff, man, but I haven't got over to Tokyo or Kyoto or any other places I've desired to go to. No, sir.
So next question for you, Donald, right, is, so looking at my list over here, culture. Is Moldova a conservative culture or is it a liberal culture? Depending on what you answer, why is it that way?
Conservative. It's part of the old Eastern European bloc. We know in like the last 50, 60 years, they just got their churches. It wasn't 100 years. It wasn't too long. A long time, USSR didn't want a lot of churches around the country. They just, them churches start popping up when it broke up. Moldova is no different. Just like you got a liquor store on every corner in the West, you got a church on every corner in the East. And I like that. I like that. I can look out here from my view and see like 9, 10 steeples with the golden tops all around in the same in Moldova. You can look around, you're going to pass by the churches on the way to gym. You're going to pass by the churches on the way to, that's just normal. So a very conservative country. You're not going to see, you're not going to see the rainbow, you're not going to see that anywhere in any form of fashion. So in any form of fashion, unlike Poland or, in Ukraine where they had a parade, very small parade. In Poland last year, they had a big parade, kids and everybody involved, schools and everybody involved. That's not going down in Moldova. Zero. It's not going down in Moldova. Very conservative country, very conservative with the babushkas, all got their crosses on outside. They're praying. Women wear the scarves. You don't enter a church or a chapel here without covering your heads. I admire that for the women. They'll be outside doing what they got to do before they walk in, before they go in and cover their heads. And to me, I like that. In the West, the women are hiking up their skirts a little bit before they walk in. Over here, they're covering at the bottom. No, 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 no. They got the heels on, everything showing, and you got to say amen to that. Nah, over here, you be like, you know what? I appreciate them covering up. I see the side of her that's like, what I see, and then I see this humble side of her when she's presenting herself to God, and that's humbling to me. So I like that. I appreciate that. I see it in all the babushkas, and that to me, again, that's the old style, and that's very prevalent here in Moldova as well.
Awesome, bro. Awesome. So next question for you, brother, right, is so American influence, right? How bad is American influence in Moldova? Is it there? If it is there, is it very little? Because that's a big problem. I think American influence is the reason why the world is going crazy. Feminism, rainbow agenda, the whole, women against men, the toxic culture we have in the West right now, where men are becoming passport bros. That's coming from America, if we're being honest, right? So, brother, is American influence there in Moldova? If it is there, is it getting bigger or is it not there?
It's not there at all. Zero American influence. America don't want to influence Moldova. There's nothing there for America can take, gain access to, exploit. Zero. That's why it's the poorest country in Europe, the least visited country, the least Americanized country, the least Western influenced country. Like zero. They don't have money here for the war like they do Ukraine, and they're trying to tell them put this there, put these in, change the corruption, take this out, put this in. They don't have that control over here. They can't even get that straight in Ukraine. So they're definitely not going to try in places like Romania and Moldova because they don't care about them places. So Moldova, you don't have to worry about the American influence. The American influence that's there is when I'm there. Is when I'm there. I'm just being honest with you. It's not gonna be no American. Ain't no music. There's no clothing. Nothing. Like you're gonna see the kids in the Nikes and the Adidas because that's just what kids do, right? But you're not gonna see the American influence. Teens will be teens, but the American influence you won't see it. There's zero American influence, which is what I like. I appreciate. I can find the American influence in some places here in Ukraine, but I couldn't find it in some places. Now there may be a bar or two. They play a little heavy metal. I like that. Yeah. That influence. Yeah. It might be and it's a heavy metal bar. So I like, hey man, it's cool. Y'all listen to that. I got a couple of things I want y'all to play. Like it's cool, right? Now it may be a bar or two, a cafe or two when they made, I think the music changed to 50 Cent when I got here because they wasn't playing that. Like, or at the gym, he changed the music up. Like that's the influence is you. That's when they say, Medicaid. So then they want to talk, and you are the influence. So you won't have to come here and be looking around and say, man, they've been contaminated. This water's dirty already. No, it's not. It's clean, pure Slavic water. I like that.
Awesome, bro. Awesome. So next question for you, brother, right, is in terms of lifestyle. So for yourself, Donald, right, what kind of lifestyle are you living, or are you experiencing in Moldova when you're there? Is it a very high class lifestyle? Would you say you're actually in the top 1%, the top 0.1%, brother? Tell me your lifestyle there in Moldova from your perspective, brother.
I'm a very humble man. I'm a humble man, especially over here. I'm not gonna sit here and say, I'm the richest dude walking around here. I respect there's people that got money over here that don't show it. I respect that people got their euros put up, and I respect that people don't flash over here. That's very Western. Some of my nice big watches and stuff, like I tone them off. Sometimes I don't wear my jewelry. Sometimes I only wear my jewelry out the gym, or I tuck it in, or I try to tone down. Tone it down a little bit. You're gonna be in the top percent. You're gonna. I'm in a nice percent when I'm in the West. That percent goes up over here in Eastern Europe. Now I'm not gonna be walking around and say, who got the biggest pockets. I don't play that game, and I do respect the hustle over here because there's certain people that they get their hustle on, and They get their hustle on over here. Don't think that Eastern Europe, everybody just broke. All right, people get their money. They get it in certain kind of ways. You got people that got fake oil companies, fake gas companies, fake all kind of fake stuff. That's why I told you, if you don't know what's going on, sometimes these scams, these crimes are high level crimes. It's way beyond the street and the darkies. It's so I'm just telling you, like, don't come around here in Eastern Europe and think you got the biggest pockets. Now, my lifestyle, I do live pretty good. You know, I live good in America. I live pretty good over here. I live very well in Moldova. I was able to have my rent, pay my rent over here, help my mom with her rent, have more than 2 females in my house, have more than 3 females in my apartment at one time. My lifestyle is a little bit different than everybody else's, so I can't really speak about everybody else. But it was common for me that to live this kind of lifestyle, so it's a little bit different. I live in an apartment, $500 a month. I got all my bills paid, so yeah, I may have a little bit more extra cash than other people don't have, but at the same time, like and my team is different, so I take care of more than just myself. I live quite well in Moldova, gentlemen. But I don't have to have a nice exotic car outside. I still go to the gym every day. Have different clothes. I wear to the gym. Go to the market. Keep food in there. Everybody's taken care of. We can all catch a plane out of here if we need to. We can stay here. We can catch a bus out here. So I live okay. I don't need for nothing, and I can continue to find other opportunities over here for me to live better. So yeah, if you're a passport bro, you can come over here and live beyond your means at home, and you will be living beyond people's means over here, especially if you have that Western pound coming in, because people over here don't make pounds. People over here sometimes don't have access to euros and American dollars. So what you make can't be more than some other people, true, but you will find people that's on your par. You will find people that's on your par.
Amazing, brother. So, brother, you're telling me that they accept euros and American dollars and pounds there. So you can actually give them, so in paper form, you can give them the actual currency of pounds and dollars and they'll take it, or it's only in actual electronic currency that it works. So if I give someone like £10 in paper form to buy their products, right, can they accept that? Or has it got to be in their Moldovan currency? I've got to exchange it to Moldovan currency and then they'll accept it. Yeah?
No, they will accept it. So what happens is, like, if I go to a store, I try to pay in their currency. Okay. If I'm in a taxi and I'm like, hey man, I got this. He'll calculate it. Sometimes I have Turkish money, Romanian lei. They know people. They'll get on the phone. Okay, that's gonna be 3 of those. Give me 3 of those. Okay, here's what it means. Like he'll calculate it. If you got $1, he'll be like, oh, you got $10. Okay, boom, that's do, right? So yeah, you can pull your pounds out for there. Just be careful. Make sure you got the currency right. Don't get scammed, because that's an easy way to get scammed if you walk around with different money than everybody else. Because everybody got their hands out, right? Or babushka, and everybody got something to sell. Sorry. So, but I always try to be with the people and amongst the people and look like the people. So I keep their lei with me. I don't be having no American dollars. I don't need nobody trying to say, oh, give me that 5. Like, nah, they ain't going down, player. So I keep their lei and it stays easy. And they see me as them. I got the lei ready. Boom, boom, boom. Cut out all the American stuff. No one's looking at me as an American when I'm walking around with their money. So you can use your pound and stuff for a taxi. Be careful with that. Go transfer to their, when you're in the country, transfer to their. You don't want to be in Mexico when everybody got pesos and you walk around in pounds. Do you really want to put yourself out there like that? Right? Lower yourself, meaning that become with the people, have their money, their currency, and share with them, so that way they can give you the proper change. Don't give you the look. Man, I got to pull these coins out for you when I do these interviews, man. I got all kind of coins, Moldovan coins, from the small ones to the big ones. I collect all this stuff. I got hundreds and thousands of dollars worth of foreign money that I just collect. This is what I can just keep forever. So yeah, you change it. So you get to having all these coins in your pockets. You get to having these leis, but you're in their country. Okay, so always exchange your money for the local currency, gentlemen. That's coming from somebody who lives over here. Don't be walking around with a couple $100 folded up in your pocket.
Awesome, brother. So, brother, how does the average Moldovan?
Let me say this real fast. Let me say this real fast. Excuse me, I'm sorry, but this is important. Remember, gentlemen, I've had to pay, not really police. That's a different story. I've had to pay the border police, the border militia, the border. When you go to the borders and stuff, when you pull out that American money, you're gonna pay more. When you pull out those pounds, you're gonna pay more. So if there's a situation where you got to pay, or you're trying to smooth the hands, grease the hands a little bit, don't pull out your local currency. Pull out their currency. Does that make sense? Just in case you get in a situation where you got to pay yourself out of it. Does that make sense, gentlemen?
It does. So, but you're telling me that in Moldova, you've had to pay. Yes, I don't want to actually let me know. Let me know, brother, if they want to ask this question. Maybe personal, right, brother? It's up to you. You're telling me in Moldova, corruption is apparent there, so you might have to pay police to let things for them to not bother you. They might try and set you up, and you got to pay them off. Is that how it works in Moldova? In some cases,
that's happened to me 0 times in Moldova. That's happened to me going over to Moldova. That's happened to me. I haven't put myself in a situation where I had to pay anybody in Moldova. But I'm saying that because it's an Eastern European country, if I drove too fast and they pulled me over and I didn't have my ID, yes, I paid them their currency. If I got into an argument and I was acting emotional as a Western guy, I'm drunk, but I don't want to go to jail and I don't want to get in the back of your car, yes, I want to pay them. If I did, you know what I mean? These little small situations that the average local person gets to go home, but you might be in it because they want something from you. Do not pull out your currency. Now, overall, in Eastern Europe, have I given something to a police officer? Yeah. Yeah, I don't understand. That's not corruption. The West got y'all thinking the police are unapproachable when the police are the most dirty people all the time. I don't know. That's not corruption. It means that that's easy access to this one person instead of me having to pay the municipality, the state, the court, all the stuff we got to do in the West. You can nip that in the bud. I sit out here, my apartment, my high rise. I can see the river from all my windows, but I have a highway outside. I got a highway that's down there. And then these exits. There's a road to get on this highway over here. I see approximately 2 or 3 accidents a week. I can look out my window and see 2 cars again. Down here, as they get into the main street, I can see 2 cars hit each other. They bump each other. The police sits out here all the time sometimes with their lights on, just pulling over big diesels. They got their reasons why they pull over diesels. They check. When these accidents happen, then police will be over there busy. They don't even be looking at the accidents. You got to get out with your own card information and stuff like that and do it, unless it's really horrible. And you see them out there taking pictures and they calling each, making calls. Then people do it themselves here in Eastern Europe. You don't see an over police type. So it's the same in Moldova. You're not going to see an over policing. I said that before. So you don't have to worry about keeping money on the side to pay the police because you acted stupid and because you're from the West. Like, nah, it's not gonna, it's a small percent of that happening. If it does happen, make sure that you pull out their currency because you can get Western tax having your currency.
amazing, brother. So, brother, on average, right? How does the average Moldovan person live? Is it a very humble lifestyle? Are there some very rich Moldovan people that you come across and Or yeah, on average, brother, how are they living out there in Moldova, brother, lifestyle-wise?
Average lifestyle is very, very conservative. It's like I'm not going to sit here and call people poor. I've been over here too many years to be calling people poor. I've been in Mexico, Guatemala for 3 months. I see them poor, man. So I'm not going to call people poor, but I'm going to say they ain't got the money we have. They don't have the cars we have. They don't have the clothes we have. It's normal to go to the gym in the same clothes. They go home and wash their clothes and go back to the gym in the same clothes. I said that to y'all before. I stopped judging. It's not a place to judge. It's a place for me to stand out. I'm not wearing the same clothes every day. So I like that. Even if it's a hot girl, she wore that outfit 4 times this week. Great. She looked great in it. I'm not going to sit here and judge. So that lets you know that people don't be having it like we have it. They're not online on Amazon ordering all this stuff so they can, you got some girls who do. But I'm just saying on average, people very, very, they're you don't have much in your teen years. Some people enter their 30s doing the same thing. They don't have much. They didn't have the great job to go to after school. They didn't have the factory over here closed down. So the men don't have much. A lot of men be working hard or they leave the country to work and they send the money back. Okay. So you stand out as a Westerner with your little style, your clothes, your little jewelry, you got something put up, your investments. You stand out. It's going to be all over your face and your comfortability in life. Some people be having a hard life. You look at Moldovans, they got a hard life. Hands hard, crow's feet from wrinkles, just from life, being in the sun and working. The babushkas look like they've been working hard. Everybody look like they've been working harder than me. Everybody look like they've been working harder than me. So what do I look like saying y'all poor? Nah, man, it's hard. And if you look at the average the annual, or the monthly income of a Moldovan person, it may not reach no higher than about 400, 500 for a lot of people. 600 pounds for a lot of people. A thousand is a lot. 1,000 per month is a lot. Now, there are people. I live in certain places when there are people. I go to the store where I live at here and in Moldova. I'd say there's middle class, upper middle class, meaning that the people own their flats. They got like a Infinity, or I've seen Porsches, Range Rovers. Like that's sort of not normal, because as you walk around, you're gonna see people walking, taking buses, taking old tag. Like you see a lot of people in the train station going to the subway. Not everybody has that nice car to go into this nice market. People may go to the other market because it costs less. But I like to live here, go to this market, because a lot of hot people here, a lot of good food here, lots of options. It costs more. It's more American. They got a lot like American, like an option. They got a whole meat section. They got a whole fish section. They got all these sweets. They got all this stuff coming in from different countries. When I'm in Moldova, I shop for my mom sometimes. But my point is that I do like to live in the middle class to upper middle class areas of Moldova. I prefer to live there. But that's not what you see as I'm in the taxi going to the store. That's not going to be the norm. I told you there's not many high buildings, there's not many high rises, not many opportunities. So it's not going to be a bunch of, it's not like New York, Manhattan. It's not going to be like that. So, yeah, I could have looked up the monthly average for Moldova, but I'll be willing to bet it's like around 750, possibly a little bit lower.
Awesome, bro. Awesome. So, brother, next question for you, right, is okay. So, brother, tell me things to do there in Chisinau, Moldova, as a tourist. Tell me hobbies. So, let's say I'm living there for 6 months, right? What can entertain me? What can entertain me continuously for my 6 months? So, what can I do? Is it go to the park? Is it wine tasting events? Tell me hobbies to do there, brother, as a passport, bro.
Okay, as a passport, bro, you would only get 3 months. Westerners get a 3-month pass in Moldova, and so in those 3 months, what you would do to stay busy in Chisinau, your nightlife, because your days can be gym, park, store, and then you might want to walk, drink coffee and see if you can meet a couple people or go on some walking dates and stuff like that. Nighttime, they can have discos there. They're not on curfew like Ukraine. They got discos there. They got clubs there. They have people still come there for concerts. Sometimes they don't want to come to Ukraine because of the war, whatever's going on in Russia. So they may stop in Moldova, but it's not going to be somebody It's going to be somebody that Eastern Europeans know. I go to the concerts. There's not much to do at night, man. Me and my team, we would not be out every night. The girls could tell you, like we'd be in the flat. Like after we go shopping, all that kind of stuff, we'd be in the flat. We'd be in our apartment. It's like weekends. Sometimes we go, go eat, barbecue or shishlik, what they call it, shish kebab. And I may take the girls out to shake a little bit, but that's like a VIP table type stuff. For a man, to be honest with you, your nights would be full of dates. Like when I'm not with the girls, like I'm possibly like on a date. I'll go to the gym, come home, shower. I'll go out hang out with a girl. That could happen every night for a bachelor. What else can you do? You're not gonna be at the disco dancing, So it would be throughout the day. I've met 6, 7 people. I'm gonna go hang out with one because they're gonna tell you, what are you doing tonight? They don't really have a lot to do. Girls will put you in that position when you meet them. What are you doing tonight? That's happened to me so many damn times. I'm like, it's like, we don't do that in the West. I'm gonna see you in a couple of days. Like, matter of fact, I'm not gonna call you for a couple of days. I'm gonna hit you up, say what you like. Nah, they be like, what are you doing tonight? This city's small. You live right over there. She caught you at the gym. She ain't got much to do. She's like, hey, let's go walking. Because they'll do that. It's 9 o'clock. Let's go walking. Like, all right, cool. That's normal, man. Girls love to walk. They go out walking over here. People love. I've been on so many walks, man. Like, it's just so you would fill your nights up, not entertaining, but being personal with people. You meet you not every girl you're gonna hit a home run with. So sometimes it's just hanging out, speaking English. You want to go drink, want to hang out. You meet somebody else. So the next night you want to go hang out. You don't even have to go spending a lot of money, right? They just want to meet you, talk to you. So it's not the kind of place that has a bunch of discos, a batting cage, a football place to go play soccer. They ain't got all that. A football team, a national football team you can go root for. None of that. A basketball team you can go watch. None of that. Movie theater. You don't understand. None of that. So it ain't much to do there. It's like being in a big village city. So that's why my female friends, when they would call me, they say, we would rather you go to the club, because I would bring the club to me. My house would be popping. The girls at my house would be popping. We'd be having fun in my house. So, if you're a bachelor, man, I can't tell you what to do other than go date. Because you're not going to have much else to do unless you want to go out and drink. You can always find a bunch of Moldovan men who you like drinking, they'll go drink with you. You can find that any day. But if that's who you are, that's who you are.
Awesome, bro. So, brother, now let me ask you about language, right? In Moldova, is English enough, or do we have to learn Romanian there to communicate with women there and people in general?
Russian. Remember, it all used to be part of the Russian bloc. 17 countries, they all speak Russian. You can go from Kazakhstan to Moldova to all them countries speak Russian as the base language because they were part of the, So now that you're going to have a mixture of, you have some people who know Ukrainian because, there's lots of Ukrainian girls over there, lots of Ukrainian people over there. And then you have to get more over to the western side of Moldova before you start hearing Romanian everywhere, because the Moldovan language is like a Romanian type dialect anyways, but that Russian language can be basic. You go to the store, you get chicken and steak, it's all gonna be Russian. You can order in Russian, they're all gonna understand you. So the primary language number one would be Russian. Okay, so after that, then you may find a girl who know a little English. Like there's a 55% chance you'll find somebody speaking. Let me go higher. About 75% chance you can find, because 4 the young, I know they all spoke English. I didn't meet one girl who didn't speak English when I was in Moldova that I talked to, that I chased.
Interesting. Okay, so we have to learn the language. Interesting.
No. You don't have to learn the language. Learn a little Russian. Russian is the basic language for all these countries. See, that was the first language I just started trying to learn Ukraine language like a year ago. I've been over here all these years, didn't need to. Russian was the basic language. Now, this political turmoil have people saying speak more Ukrainsky, more Ukraine. This political turmoil has people saying, hey, pick up your Ukrainian language a little bit more. You need to speak Ukrainian language a little bit more. I was like, you need to get out of my face. Because it's hard enough learning Russian. I understand I live in Ukraine. I understand this is my base country, but I also live in these other countries. I'm not trying to pick up all the Moldovan language. I'm not trying to pick up all the. I just pick up just enough pieces to say hello, good morning. Can I get 3 kilos of that chicken right there? And what's your name? What you doing tonight? Like I got the basics down of those particular language. Russian, I know a lot more, but the Russian language will take you a long way. Now, for us Westerners who got zero Russian language, bring your English over here. Because look, the language barrier is the number one gatekeeper for all y'all. That's why y'all sitting at home. Some of y'all, now if y'all OG passport, if y'all passport bros, y'all understand that if you were in a country long enough, or in a country that's not like, you go to South America, why you not picking up a little Spanish? You from Mexico all the way down to Brazil, why you ain't learning just a choo-choo Spanish, a little Spanish, right? Hola, ¿cómo estás? You got to start somewhere. You ain't trying to you in that whole center of all that land and you ain't speaking, you're crazy. So when I'm over here with all this land, all these places, I'm over here in Eastern Europe, I'm the Black Slav guy, and I don't know no basic language. All right. So you guys can do that though. It's not that easy. So I'm not going to ask y'all to do that or say y'all need to do it. I'm just saying that it makes it will help you tremendously. And if you don't do that, then just go ahead and use your English language, and you will find somebody who will understand your English language, and they will try to help you with it. Meaning that,
but is it very, but is it very rare to find an English-speaking person in Moldova? It's not common.
No, it's not rare. I mean, it's not rare. It's more common. Meaning that I introduced myself to a nice amount of girls, and I'm telling you, from older to younger, they had English in their toolbox. Now, listen, Us Western guys lazy. Now Texas guys, West, we may have a little Mexican, Spanish. We speak Spanish. We mess around Mexico. We got our English, our Spanish. You UK guys, y'all have different people there too. Y'all may know a couple languages too. You may know a little French or something. Maybe you don't. But over here, you can't start out with your English because you don't have any. When I got to Moldova, I was using my Ruski, my Russian language. Thankfully, I had a little bit. So everybody else was trying to understand me. The English language I used when I was at the gym. When I'm at the gym and I'm meeting people, I say, Donald, I'm from Texas, but I'm getting their English because they're trying to use it on me. Remember, they see you as Western. They're going to use English first on you before you use another language on them. They're gonna say, man, they're gonna say something in English to get your attention. So you're gonna know whether it's a man or a woman. You're gonna know I can just relax, default to my English, because that's what they want. They don't want to hear your Ruski. They're asking where you're from. You're gonna say, "Is this?" You're gonna start speaking in language like, "Oh, you know the language? Like, but where are you from?" Though they want to skip that. But where are you from? Oh, your language is good. But where are you from? They're gonna want to skip that. They want to know where you're from. So that's cool. You will 60, 70% chance through your maneuvering of the day, you're going to meet girls that speak the language. You're going to have a lot of girls that may not, but then as you move around, you go say, you speak English. Say, yes, I understand a little. Great. You understand a lot, actually. There you go.
Wow. Thank you, brother. So, brother, weather, how's weather like in Moldova whenever you go there on average? Is it very cold most of the time? Is it warm most of the time? Is it hot and cold? Is it seasonal weather? How's weather overall, brother, for you in Moldova?
4 months out of the year, snow. But that's the same as Ukraine. So we got snow in early December, sometimes in November. It may melt, come back in January, and they don't leave till March. Like it'll be springtime, March, and I'll be in Moldova walking around in slushy, watery, muddy, dark snow, dirty snow, because it hasn't melted yet. This is March, going into April. Then right at the end of March, we may have another fall of snow. So I'm walking to the gym every day still, man, this is April, man. I wish it was, wow. So we will have 4 months out of the year where it's going to be cold, wet, snowy. Okay. The spring months are short, from April to September, it seems like it's short. It seems like they go by very fast before it just gets cool again.
Awesome, brother. So, brother, nightlife, right, in Chisinau, Moldova. You're telling me that nightlife is pretty trash there. You don't go out much. Is that what you're saying, bro?
I don't go out much, but you can see me right here. I said Moldova, me at the table with all my girls, and then I'm surrounded by girls. So you can just see nothing but girls, couple guys. As it span around again, you see nothing. This is a Moldovan Chisinau at a concert. You see my girls at the table, Colombian girls, Ukrainian girls, Colombian. You see my Ukrainian girl, and you see old Blackie right there. I poke my head in. So you'll see nothing but women. You'll see nothing but women around. Like every table is women. You'll see a couple guys, but these tables are full of older women, beautiful, younger women. But as you can see, sometimes I got my own stash. So I mean, I be busy, man. But when I'm there, like I may have 4 or 5 girls with me, but still, it's so the odds of women around. So in those situations, they look at my table, they look at me like, who is that? I'm not getting it. What's this black butt doing in here? Why he's with those girls? Like, nah, it's like, who is that dude? I hear him speaking Spanish. I hear him speaking Russian. I heard him speaking English to that girl, telling her to come here. I heard, who is that dude? That's me. So I don't get, when I'm out in the crowds, I'm not getting nobody hating. People busy. People dancing on tables and trying to introduce themselves to me. So the club situation is going to be like 85% women dancing on tables and stuff. It's going to be women everywhere, just dancing all on tables, all kind of crazy places. You're just going to see just nothing but women, all on the tables, all everywhere. You just get used to it. That's just, you get used to it. Like, I'm used to just seeing a bunch of women. I don't know about y'all, man. Y'all Western dudes, man. Y'all used to looking at a bunch of dudes, man. I don't see that when I'm in Moldova. I don't see that when I'm here.
So, brother, so in the nightlife, right, in Moldova, can you find wifey there, or is that where a bunch of 304s are, keeping it PG, obviously? Is that where it's mostly 304s? Do mostly 304s congregate in the nightlife, or can you find wifey there? Or is it 50-50? 304s and then good woman there in Moldova nightlife, brother?
Wifey. You find wifey in the clubs.
Most of the time? Most of the time?
Most of the time.
Sorry, brother. You're saying that there's more wifey women than 304s in the clubs in Moldova?
Yeah, because 304s over here can't. In my opinion, 304s seem to be sometimes not really village girls, but 304s don't have a lot of they don't have the resources to be in certain hotspots. They got resources to be at local bars to drink. Remember, guys, in Eastern Europe, this is the pastime for drinking. So when I do that right there, that means drinking. So you'll see girls like, you want to drink with me? Like, yeah, baby, I want to drink with you. You know, a guy's like, hey, let's go drink. Like, no. So you're gonna find 304, like you're gonna find wifeys at the clubs, meaning that because there's so many women in the city, like in this situation, when I'm out, there's so many women in the city, so many men are working. The women who got men to come here, they were all boyfriends. The men who did come here, they're with the boys and they got too many options. So you just have a lot of girls, good women who are out to have a good time because they don't have a man. That's normal. There's not a lot of men in the club to get them. So you don't have to worry about the guy pulling up here trying to talk to all the girls. His hand is full with a hottie. So that's a whole bunch of girls right here good. When I talk to these girls, like, where are you from? What do you do? She said, oh, I work in marketing at this company right here. Like, oh, really? How long you been there? Here's my card. Okay, what do you do? I have a little salon. I do this. Okay, cool. You these are working girls. I just left a entrepreneur party a week and a half ago, and I told you about that. It's like 75% women. There was like the expats that were in there all have businesses here in Ukraine. So it's like you get used to that in Moldova and in Eastern Europe. Just there's like a whole bunch of women here. So because this entrepreneur business is all these women who are drinking wine, dressed very sexy, I'm gonna call them all 304s. Like, nah, man. These are women who want to get out because in the West, also here, gentlemen, we may touch upon it a little bit. They don't have. I just got an invitation to one here. They don't have a big strip club thing. The dancing clubs, strip clubs, like they have dancing disco clubs, but the strip clubs and that nightlife stuff they don't really have here. So women go out, and men, you can just go to the local club to see something beautiful. You got to have money to go see this choreographed dancing where they're stripping, and guys don't like doing that. Is either you have money or you go to a place that's different and you don't have to have money. It's just dirty 304 type stuff. You'll see a 304 walking down the street as opposed to at nighttime in the clubs. There's a good chance those are all really, really good women having a good time out and they're just single. In the West, they're just bad women who are in relationships acting single.
Awesome, bro. Brother, can you recommend any club or bar names in Moldova that's pretty good?
Oh man, gentlemen, sometimes when y'all talk to me, man, I may not be the go-to guy because that would be for my African associates because they know all the clubs that they go to consistently. I won't go to clubs consistently unless it's a major star coming, and then a lot of my friends want to go have a good time. No, I can't tell you the name of the clubs. I can tell you to pick out when you go to Moldova, now I've been to the disco clubs too. So when you go to Moldova, you can pick out like 2 or 3 disco clubs. And what you can do is you can do a Thursday night, Friday, Saturday, and then you'll have them knocked out in 3 days where you sort of understand what you like about disco clubs and why you would probably prefer cafes. Because cafes are the same. Cafes and disco clubs can almost be the same because what they do at cafes is they pull out the microphone for karaoke. And for some reason, like Thailand and Asian places, karaoke is big over here. Women love to sing. They love to get up and dance. So you don't have to really go to a club to see a bunch of hot women. Remember, the odds are the odds. You can just go to a cafe and see the same bunch of girls the same way you would see at a disco, if that makes sense.
Awesome, brother.
So I apologize, guys. If you guys gave me 5 minutes, I take maybe what's the name of the club, and I could give you like that. But off the top of my head, this is not American. I say go to Club XO. It's gonna be popping on Friday nights. I'm not the dude for that. You're not gonna see me at Club XO.
Awesome, brother. And brother, what kind of music do they play in the clubs in Moldova?
Eastern European Russian music that's popping. Over here, Eastern European music, women singing about and men singing about romance and all that kind of stuff. And they have new sounds now. And then you have the whole Russian hip hop, which is in all speakers coming out, all cars, on all teens' headphones, on all teens, all girls inside the mirror, listening to singing their favorite song, hip hop. So you're gonna hear Russian hip hop everywhere.
Awesome, brother. Awesome. And brother, when they play hip hop in the clubs, right? No one's saying the N word, right? I hope not.
Nah,
Good.
because they don't even
Awesome.
unless you walk around and let everybody know you're there. They don't even think a black dude's in the country.
But,
You gotta,
but, but, but
you gotta
I
walk in the
mean,
club and say a black dude's here. Like, nah, you're not hearing. You mean on the music and stuff?
yeah, music, yeah.
So the Russian music, I've heard like two Russian songs where they try to say that word, right? And they'll use that word when they rapping. And to me, I know what it is. See, when you were telling me earlier, is there an American influence in Moldova? I said no. But is there American influence in Russia and Ukraine? Yes. They listen to hip hop. Yes. So yeah, and if you listen, my girls listen to too much. I know more Russian music than I want to know because the girls listen to it. And I'll be sitting there smoking, drinking my wine. I'm like, yeah, he jamming a little bit. Yeah, he's talking about getting money right here. Rewind it. I was like, yeah, I thought I heard that part. And then I was like, yeah, but then I heard that nigga too. I heard him throw that in there. But it's a strong Russian accent. And it was like, he's speaking to his brother, his brat, his bratan. He's speaking to his brat, his bro. So that it's coming out, and I'm thinking, man, these dudes really think they really want to us now. They think that comes with the music, and you know what? The way y'all girls singing it comes with the music. Now, is it the chorus of the song? No. Is it probably inside the rap lyrics? I thought I heard it. Rewind it. Yeah, I did hear how you said it. You know what I'm saying? But no, you're not gonna hear it up in the club like it's the main theme of the song, like in our songs. It's not
But
that.
if it is, but are they singing along to it? Are they singing the words to it? The people in the club when it
I
comes
don't.
out for
You know
years?
what? To be honest with you, I don't have a problem with somebody singing the words to the song because I sing the words to the song and it may come out to be Jewish racist. I didn't know. Okay, I'm singing it. All right. So when I find out what it means, okay, that's messed up. I'm 51. I should have known that meant in Chinese that meant something bad. But I'm singing the song, so I don't really care if they sing the song. So my girls, when we have music and I'm giving them Western influence and we listen to Rick Ross and stuff, and they going along with it, they like it. They like the. I don't care. But in the clubs, I don't look for that. But no, they don't, because the music, they're not playing our songs. They're not playing something that we all know. See, in our Western clubs, they'll sing all the songs, they cut it down, we all sing it. They do that here, but the songs is different. Yeah, they do cut down, all the girls singing the song, they screaming. Now, when the hip hop song comes on, it's that word is not so prevalent for everybody to say it. Have I heard it in a rap song or two? I live in Russia, Ukraine, Moldova. Yeah, I've heard it in the raps. I listen to a lot of rap, a lot of Russian rap. But is it the top number one song that everybody's singing? Nah, maybe it should be. I'm not gonna hate on them if it was. The word is very small, and ours is the chorus. So if you're saying if there's a song with a chorus and they're all singing it, I wouldn't care less. I'd be right there with them. Just like when the African song come on, all the Africans run to the dance floor and they be singing it, and everybody be singing. We don't be knowing what they saying in the songs, but we like the beat. So I'm not. No, they don't be doing it to answer your question because there's no song with that word prevalent for everybody to sing. If they did, that's music, man. That's the same reason why when we hear the song played, you can't cut the song off in Portland, in Portugal, in Spain, and Italy, where the song is popular. These people go to them countries and sing to the whole stadium. The whole stadium can't say the word.
In my opinion, no, bro. I think that should
Crazy.
be censored or removed.
I don't understand. I don't understand how you can do a world tour and expect your fans not to sing what they've been hearing on the CD. No
I
one
would I
knows.
wouldn't.
They don't know the. Let me say this real fast. What I came to understand living overseas and traveling is people don't understand the sensitivities because they don't have any blacks here, and they don't have any blacks here to whine and say it's bad because they have a lot of blacks saying it's cool. The sensitivities, they don't understand the sensitivities because it's on their TV and it's on the music. So if they have a concert, when 6ix9ine came to 6ix9ine, I don't listen to him. I don't listen, but some of my girls, they, hey, we want to go see 6ix9ine. He's coming to Kiev. 6ix9ine. Do you know what his music is full of?
Anywhere, dudes, and I don't agree
Okay.
with it, brother.
So
I don't agree with it.
I don't agree with it. But I'm saying when that concert happened, I'm gonna tell you, yes, they were singing the word for word. And I was thinking to myself, I'm like, oh, they know the words over here? Oh, 6ix9ine having a good time. Where are you going for the after party? Because I was like, because we in Kiev. I was like, where you going for the after party? I don't know if I don't mess with him. I don't hang out with him and stuff like that. But I'm saying, what did I see? I saw the whole crowds singing his songs, which I'm not into, and they were into it. But what I see is I see people not understanding. We overstand. That's the problem, IP. We overstand the sensitivities, and then we produce a product out there, and we expect people not to like our product who's paying for it. They pay more for the product than we do. We don't pay for that stuff, So I find it weird.
Personally, if I was a rapper, I'd purposely ignore that word. I wouldn't say in my lyrics.
Oh,
And
in
I'd say
your
something
case,
else.
I got you.
That's how I would do that
You
to
present it to the
avoid that.
world. You present it to the world,
Yeah.
and they don't know. Some people don't know any better, man. They just don't.
So
And that's what happens.
next
That's what
question.
happens when there's no black influence. There's no American influence. They don't have your opinion. They don't have my. It has. I have to take it and say, don't say that word. I have to correct somebody like that for them not to know, right? But I haven't got anybody to say it to me for me to say that. So
Hold on, bro. So brother, what about SCI in the chat talking about IP, irrational, soft, stay in your safe space? You don't get it, man. No, because no other nation on earth, right, is saying slurs. So what makes me angry is that why don't I hear Indian slurs? Why don't I hear Russian slurs in their music or every other
because
country?
you don't understand what the slur is. See, it took me time to understand.
So, brother, just react to the brother's statement there. Like,
Oh, yeah.
so, and it annoys me. Like, if I just don't think it's fair as to how that word is on TV shows, music. I was in Japan last year, bro, and they brought out the N word, this N word, that in McDonald's in Japan, in Tokyo. I feel some type of way, bro, because I don't hear other cultures slurs of any kind, right, in music being plastered all around the world, and it just kind of makes me feel some type of way that they don't respect us. They see us as that word. So I think it's an interesting discussion.
We gotta respect each other first. So if we use the word so easily, and then that's a term of endearment to my brother. Like, what's up, my nigga? To them, they was like, I'm trying to be. I like black ladies. They trying to get in as close as they can. And I understand it from a different point of view. Now that I'm in the world, and I understand how lack of information they have. I'm in the 80s in some of these countries. They behind time. So you ask me, they have any influence there? Like, nah, 50 Cent went over here, but 50 Cent was all through here. They would listen to it. I saw a dude call me this because he thought about 50 Cent. In Russia, they got all this Russian hip hop. Like, they got everything with it. Japan, they got people trying to dress back, look like they Mexican cholos from California. They got these culture, not culture vultures, but culture kidnappers, because it's cool. And then the culture is supposed to be spread out there. But what go with that culture? Yes, is that. Now, the Russian language, there's a lot of slurs in there, bro. There's a lot of slurs in their music. They got a lot of slurs when it comes to Russian stuff. The Ukraine, like, it's the slurs are in there. And it's a slur that I hear other Russians call other Russians in a negative way and in a positive way to the youngsters. So the older may call each other that for negative, the youngsters may call each other this. We may call a girl the B word. The black girls may call each other the B word. It's a term of endearment. So if a white girl say it, y'all mad. Like, when I get out to the world, I'm just like, okay, boom, y'all got this export of American blackness, and this is the export that you got. Y'all not singing Beyonce songs, you're singing this. You're not singing, Ray Charles songs, you're singing this. So the other people singing Michael Jackson. Now, if Michael threw that word in there, they're gonna sing it, man. So I don't agree with it, but I got your point on that. I understand what you're saying there. I refuse to look at it from a negative point, but no, it's not. No one's singing it in the music. But when 6ix9ine was here, they was all singing it.
So the next question for you, brother, is so now being an IT bro and other brothers who are interested in getting into IT, I think for us having a strong internet connection and having a fast internet connection is very important. So in Moldova, is internet strong and fast, brother, or is there problems there, brother?
Every time you ask these questions, I'll be sometimes thinking, man, that's a crazy question, but that's a good one. So my business was internet. internet based. So I sometimes, be honest with you, like before I went to Guatemala, before we went to Egypt, I checked on the country and the highest internet and the lowest. So I would pull up the country I'm going to, and I'm like, man, it's not that good. And man, we're gonna have this. We got to get this. I got to take this when we go because we're gonna be there for a long time. I can't be, So Moldova, I had almost choo-choo. The word choo-choo is a little bit. Sorry, using Russian. It's a little bit. It seemed to be a little bit better than Ukraine. And my Russian is great here. When we got to Moldova, it's like it was a little bit better in Chisinau. And there were no issues for me to be checking my investment sites, to be doing everything, working online, blah, blah, blah. No slowing down with the internet issue.
Awesome, bro. So next question for you, brother, is tell me things you don't like about Moldova that we should know as passport bros, bad things you don't like about
it. So I think before I've had a problem answering this question, and I've had a problem answering that question about Ukraine, because when I came over, it was easy as a Westerner to be very judgmental, and I had one of these right here full of what I didn't like. Chapter 1, what I don't like about Moldova. Like I had a book, but being the kind of man that I am, where I'm like, you know what, man, let me look at this from a different view. Like, it's not supposed to have a lot of things. So I ended up liking a lot of things about it, right? Because that's how I would make things happen. I made a lot of money in Moldova. I made some good money in Moldova. I made good contacts. The food I could find at the local market, because I go to the market where they had extra food, a little bit more pricey, but it was extra. So I think that what I didn't like about Moldova, which became the advantage for me, because it wasn't a big city. It was a quiet city. So my girls didn't want to go out dancing all the time, out at the club every time, it's like I'm a sheepdog. I keep all my sheep close to me. I ain't got to worry about. So, it was so many advantages. At first, I didn't like it. It's a dead city, man. It's dead around here, man. It's, the girls are not just as beautiful as Ukraine girls, man. Like, it's a step down. Like, I'm looking around, it's like, man, my Ukraine girls, it's tougher in Ukraine, And it's just things you get used to, right? So the women are shorter, a little bit darker skinned, have more hips on them. It was differences. There's more linen statues. There's not, the clubs are open till 2 or 3 in the morning. There's no curfew like Ukraine. What do I don't like? I'm telling you, brother, when I got over there, I'm like, these are all advantages, man. There's nothing to do. Cool. Everybody can focus. We can work. I can go gym. I can come back. I don't want to date. Like, it's just, I'm sorry, gentlemen. Like, you guys got to go there from a Western and then bring your judgmentalness to Moldova. And you tell me what you don't like, which would be a plethora of things, because it's deader than Spain. It's deader than Ukraine. It's not Moscow. I can't give you guys the badness of a place that I'm telling you to go to. It would come out naturally. I would tell you, hey, man, this is not cool. It hasn't come out yet, gentlemen, because I can't really give you the bad things about Moldova, other than it's not a hot spot. It's not a large, they may have 2 or 3 discos, not 15 of them. You may not be a fan of the food, but you can always go find the places where you want to eat. So that cancels that. You're going to find beautiful women. They may not be as beautiful as Ukraine, but they're number 8, they're on the list. It's the top, so I really can't say, gentlemen, the bad thing about Moldova. You're not going to get me to do that, Jonathan. I can't pull it out up here. I'm not going to sit here and lie to y'all. What y'all not going to do is make me lie to y'all, and y'all not going to make me paint Moldova in a negative light that's not coming out naturally. I would have told you guys, I'm very open. I would have told y'all, what's bad about it. So I really don't have an answer for that question. I really can't see the bad thing. There was so much good about Moldova, meaning that it took me out of Ukraine, gave me the break. There's a lot of distractions because my girl's Ukrainian. Moldova was the perfect little hole in the ground that nobody pays attention to. Nobody, you can disappear. You can find your girl. You can make your money. You can stack your money. All the things that are important to a go-getter like me, Moldova gave me advantages, not disadvantages. So sorry about that, man.
Fair enough, brother. So, should brothers travel alone or in a group to Moldova, and tell me why?
I got that question today from a gentleman who's looking to come over here. Um, so I'll answer this two ways. Uh, you travel when you travel with your friends. For you guys who have buddies and you do the buddy system, you're missing out on the culture of the country. You can't have another person speaking English in your ear when you're trying to learn their language. You can have another person with you with the different eyes on them who has different views when you're trying to focus on what you got to do. If you're visiting and you're having fun, bring your friend. Short-term visit, bring your buddy. I'm sure the both of y'all will find something to do. But and it might work in the discos for you two to show up together. You bounce that off of each other, you're trying to pick up girls, blah, blah, blah. But I'm a lone wolf, gentlemen, meaning that I haven't had an American man walk around with me ever other than my brother when he visited for a short period. It's always other females of the country or from another country nearby that are with me. I like to be solo to get the full feel of the country, to get the full feel of my environment, to do what I got to do. I don't need no homies. You passport bros, if it's going to be short term, you can bring your buddy if you want to. You got somebody to bounce it off with. You got somebody to go to the gym with you. Y'all can talk about what you see. You can share that together. Good for you. I don't understand how that is. I've gone to all these countries alone. I don't fly with nobody. I don't do that stuff, man. I gotta learn, hear the language. I gotta exchange this money. I gotta get this taxi. All that stuff strengthens me. Well, I got, and in my case, of course, I use my females sometimes to make sure everything goes smoothly. And that's what you can do too, alone and with your buddy. I'm just saying, when it's two guys, that's just too much American Western aura energy. That's too much. You want to tone that down so you can fit in with the culture, and you get a girl to open herself up to you, like, oh, where you from? Instead of saying, where y'all from? They're not gonna right? It's just too much American testosterone. He looking crazy. He looking at the eye. He looking at the butt. Like, it's just they don't know. If it's one guy, they say it's innocent. Like, oh, how can I help you? They're more open and prevalent. I just don't. When you travel to Moldova, gentlemen, if it's gonna be short term, you can bring your buddy. If you're a coward like that to be outside your country, you're afraid to be in Moldova by yourself. Bring your bodyguard. No, I'm being I don't know how else to say it. Like, I don't know what is he there for. I don't have no man around me. I got a no man policy in my flats, in my apartments, around my girls. Like, for what? This is me. So I suck in as much information. No Diddy. I get in more information by being alone. By being alone, being aware. Aware. If my buddy's with me, I ain't got to be aware. See, that's one thing. My awareness turned up when my brother was here because he's well relaxed. I was like, man, my brother's here. I got to make sure everything's extra good. When your buddy's here, you get relaxed. Oh man, where's my wife? We got drunk, man. I left my wife. You just certain stupid things, man. Did you get a number? Like, man, but I didn't. You laughed, and I didn't. I don't need nobody interrupting my game. I don't need nobody saying, hey, we're not going here. I want to go here. Like, no, I got to be free and open. And I think that more women are attracted to you when you're by yourself or with other women, as opposed to you. When I see two expats together, I know they're going home like rainbow. Meaning alone. When I see two expats together, I know they're going home alone. They're going out drinking. They're going to go home alone. They're going to tell stories about what they could have had, what they saw, but they're not going to have the full experience because they're together. That it's hard to have a girl come to your house when it's two. Like, they don't want to do that sometimes. If it's two girls that come to your house by yourself, but if it's you and an American man, you just lost that one girl. And if the other girl's not feeling your partner, you just lost two girls. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm losing because my buddy's here.
Next question for you, brother, right? So overall, out of 10, what would you rate Moldova? And tell me why. Out of 10, 9 out of 10, 5 out of 10. What's your overall rating, brother? And tell me why.
My rate is different, gentlemen. I'm there. I live there. I got secrets I'm not telling y'all. So although I wouldn't live there if I was to be kicked out of Ukraine, that wouldn't be my go-to spot. I'd probably go over to Moscow. I'd probably go to Russia. I'm sorry. But it's a 9 out of 10. It's a 9. It would be a 10. Like, I cleared 17K one time in Moldova in a month. at the Moldova airport. Me and two Ukrainian girls met three Colombian girls. They come all the way from Colombia. They came to see us, came to hang out. Went to the airport, picked them up, took them out. They like to go out. They want to dance all the time. I couldn't find a dance place, so I didn't been through that city, man. I didn't run through that city. It's a 9 out of 9, 9 out of 10 for me. And it's because I made a lot of money there. I kept my head down. If you're doing some, sorry, gentlemen, if you're doing some legal stuff or illegal stuff, Moldova's for you. Because you're gonna sit in that place quietly and get your money, and ain't nobody come knocking on your door. You know what I'm saying? Dating is good because you got the Russian girls, you got the Ukrainian girls, you got the Moldovan girls. I'm trying to tell you guys, I'm giving y'all some game I probably didn't want to say earlier. It's a mixture, so you can sit there and let them come to you. That's why I didn't go too far. Your money go a long way. Your apartments go a long way. When you rent a day apartment to go hang out with a female, you're gonna go teach her how to do yoga. That's cheap. You know what I'm saying? Moldova, I didn't go there shopping or nothing, but I take the girls to shopping. I walk around, look at people and stuff. They got the malls there and stuff. So I'm gonna say 9 out of 10. And the only reason I say the 9 out of 10 is because if I needed some vodka or a certain kind of vino that they didn't have in Moldova, it would come in over the bus, from Ukraine. So it's a 9 out of 9 for me because I made it home. It's like my second home, and I know what to do when I get there and how to make it happen. And so it's a 9 out of 9 for me. For some of you Western guys who don't like Eastern Europe, who've never been to Eastern Europe, by it being your first place, I say get there, focus on finding your hot girl that you like. It'll make the place much better. Because if you get there and you having a dry spell, you're gonna be like, man, this is dead. Other than what you see every day, it's alive what you see, but what you're catching is dead.
Amazing.
9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. It would be a 10 out of 10, but I'm being honest, 9 out of 10.
Awesome, brother. Awesome. So, Donald, how long do you have left, brother?
You got some more time. We're good.
Okay, brother. Brother, do you want to go for a minute or two break?
No. I'm slowing the one because I'm keeping it PG. I'm not knocking it down, so we're good.
Okay, brother. Okay. So, brother, let's go on to the woman part now. Okay. So, Mr. Donald, right? I'm going to ask you what is potentially and probably the most important question in the history of mankind. Okay. This question, brother, is a question that even world leaders know about, brother. The US president, the UK prime minister, even they know this question, Donald. Okay. This question, Donald, is so pure and potent. It can turn water into wine and vice versa. A question so biblical and potent, it can make mankind walk on water like Christ did in the Bible, bro. A question so well known that even aliens in outer space that live in Jupiter, Pluto, Mars, Saturn, and the Sun even know of this question, bro. A question so powerful and ruthless, it can cause volcano eruptions, it can cause earthquakes, tsunamis. And a question so incredible, brother, it can split the waters and sea into two and make mankind walk on one part of the sea to the other, like in the Bible, brother. Okay? The question is, bro, are the women in Moldova checking super duper, ultra, phenomenally heavy? Are they checking heavy, Mr. Donald, for black men and passport bros?
That question came all the way across the universe.
Yes, sir. They checking for brothers.
They check it. They check in when they see you.
Damn.
So if they never see you, if the country never has Westerners, if it's the poorest country in Europe, why is a cool black dude there? Okay. So when they see you, they checking for you. Okay. When they see you walking down the street, they check. When you walk into the building, they checking for you. When you come into the gym, they checking. When you walking through that market, you got little kids, grown-ups, teens, women. You got older women. You got babushkas smiling. Because you look in a certain kind of way now. Of course, if you're not on nobody's radar, you're not on nobody's radar in the West or the East. But if you're on people's radar, you're smelling good, you're looking good, you probably got something nice on your arm, nice little gym tennis, like who's that dude, man? And then when we hear him speak, he speak like one or two languages and stuff. Like women pay attention to that. Like I I'm never yes, they're checking for black men. And I say that because being in these countries, when you're the only black man, the response I get, yeah, they checking. Yeah, they checking. I mean, if they don't see you, if you're the first time, they checking, man. That's like when you see that Panamanian girl walking through UK, or when you see that one German girl walking through UK that don't look like the rest of them UK girls, you checking for her. Now you don't see a bunch of them around, but when you see that one special girl, she's mixed with Asian and black, she looks different, she looks exotic, she's exotic. I'm exotic. So for women who looking for an exotic man, for women who are curious, for women who find me mysterious, for women who want to practice their English, for women who want to say, "What's your name?" I check all them boxes. I check the boxes for the girls at the gym who 22, as well as for the MILF who 47 walking in. I'm checking all them boxes. So I can't tell you that they're not checking for you if you show up and you present yourself and your energy in a certain kind of way. They will be checking for you. And I'm speaking from facts and from experience. It's not one time you can give an interview with me when you haven't seen me with multiple girls. Like it's rare you're gonna hear me say I was with one.
Facts.
So I'm getting checked up on when I'm around 4 or 5 girls. Easy, I'm getting checked up on. I still get numbers and information, telegrams and dates and stuff with women with me. That's not a problem. So it means that your energy's right. The way you treat them girls seem cool. You're not hugged up with one of them like you unapproachable. You like a boss. You just over there chilling. They all getting you drinks and having a good time. So when you go to the bathroom, you're like, "Who are you? What do you do? Like which one? Like which one is your girlfriend? Like, really, what do you do?" Like that's how women talk to me sometimes. Like what? And we always see them. Like sometimes you come by yourself. Like what do you do? Like I'm here on business, man. I live in Ukraine. You live in Ukraine? They be like, "Yeah, I live in Ukraine. I just come over here." All that goes up. It starts going up. It's not, "No, I'm from Texas. I just come over here to see what's going on in Moldova." Like, nah, I don't. That's not me, man. So I get checked for. Yes, sir. I get checked for. So I think the average passport bro that comes over here, if you stand out just a little bit, you have good energy, you clean, you're not smelling like yesterday's basketball game. You know how y'all be smelling. You know how y'all be smelling, man. Stop smelling like that. I'm one of those men. I go in these foreign countries. I've been to Egypt. I've been to Turkey. I sometimes in Ukraine would go into the girls' bathroom rather than boys' bathroom. I've done it, man. I don't have to lie to y'all not one time because it stinks. When a man be stinking, that stuff stand out. When a foreign man be stinking, it stinks. When the Indian man, the girls be like, "Man, the Indian guy stinks." Like that Western guy stinks. That African guy stinks. That you don't want to be that guy because I've seen it at my gyms. The African student, the Western guy, the Indian guy. He stinks so bad, and I'll be like, "Man, So you want to be that kind of guy that your energy's right, your clothes is right, the way you carry yourself is right. You're over there for a purpose, and it'll show in the way that you walk, talk, and interact with people, and they will be checking for you. Everybody's not me, but I'm telling you that your odds will go up, gentlemen. And I don't even have to look at you and smell you. I can tell you, gentlemen, that even you, sir, they'll be checking for you."
Amazing, bro. So, brother, let's delve deeper into the kind of man that Moldovan women like. Do they like masculine men? I'm assuming, or do they like soft men, brother? Based on what kind of men do they like, brother, from a personality perspective? Extroverted, introverted, masculine, from what you've observed, brother.
What I've observed is that no. You got to write the first one, masculine. What I've observed is that my masculinity is what gets other women. I could be like some of these other guys, whereas that I'm not masculine, but I'm with a bunch of pretty Ukrainian women. I'm with a bunch of pretty Moldovan women. Remember, the odds are there's more women than men. So there are guys who got 4 girls with them, but he don't look like he got all 4 girls. It looks like the girls got him with them. So if you carry yourself with masculinity, it don't matter if you with 5, 20, 25 girls, like you still a man, right? Leonardo, and his masculinity don't come out very strong. Leonardo's masculinity is not even prevalent. Leonardo DiCaprio, he doesn't have any masculinity, but his guys They'll be having a whole bunch of girls around them without having that masculinity. So Moldovan women love masculine men. It's in the culture. They like tough men. You know, they like real men. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you that masculinity is not the number one thing that women, they want you to take charge. They want you to be in charge of the dates. If you say you're really going to go, they want you to set it up. They give you the eye contact, walk across the room, get their name, get their number. Like, don't just sit over there with the pretty eyes like you're Prince or you Michael. You're not Prince. You didn't write the song Purple Rain. You don't got those pretty eyes to sit over there just looking at her like that. Okay, so walk over there and say something. So that masculinity goes a long way. But I said before, being living over here in Eastern Europe, there's a language, a nonverbal language that these women speak on a daily, minute by minute basis. So your masculinity is based on how you read that. So if you gentlemen can't read, if y'all can't read a woman like you read a book, then you might miss some of those things, and you may not come across as masculine, because part of that masculinity over here is that you act on your masculinity. Unlike the West, they don't want you to act on your masculinity. I'm giving y'all too much game, man. No, I'm giving y'all too much game. I'm sorry, man. I'm gonna have to cancel this. Coming down now, because I'm giving y'all the real, man. If you're not acting on masculinity, if you're not acting on your masculinity, what you got it for?
Facts.
Just fold it between your legs. You know how to do it. Fold it between your legs, and then walk around like that. Because you don't want to walk around like you masculine if you're not acting on your masculinity. Because sometimes in the West, I'm gonna tell you what Western men do. And I'm gonna let this go. Western men are quick to jump on their masculinity towards other men. What'd you say? What you looking at? What? But when it comes to other women, they're like, oh, what that mean? I don't know. Right? Your masculinity is almost rainbow style. Because you ready to face, you ready to touch that, you ready to be with that man, you ready to interact with that man, which means y'all gonna be touching each other on the ground, possibly. No, let's be real, Western men. Y'all ready to go touch each other on the ground, as opposed to saying, you know what, let me use that same masculinity towards her. Because over here, when she's looking at me, I do the same thing I would do to a Western man. What you looking at? Where you from? Like, I'm gonna challenge her the way I would do a man, right? So that's where y'all wrong at. Bring your masculinity over here and let it come out. No Diddy, let it shine, right? Let your masculinity shine, and you act on your masculinity. Because if you don't act on your masculinity, you don't have it. I'm sorry, that's just the way they are over here. That's just the way the men are. That's how the women are. Masculinity comes first. That comes first. So I'm gonna say that and leave it alone.
Amazing breakdown there, bro. So, brother, let me ask this right. So, what's the average personality of a Moldovan woman? Are they feminine on average? Are they submissive on average, brother? Will they follow your lead on average? Because that's what I'm looking for in a woman, brother, right? I want to be a leader, masculine, but I'm going to need a feminine chick. So, brother, 3 things matter to me in a foreign woman. Is she feminine? Is she submissive? And will she follow my lead? On average, brother, and would you say the majority of women there in Moldova are that kind of woman, personality-wise, or no?
So I'm going to say this again. Every time you see me, you see women following me. So as for your listeners, women over here are very submissive. A lion is a lion. So I know a lot of these Moldovan women like to have a boyfriend, like to have one man, a husband, a boyfriend, and all that kind of stuff. One man they can call theirs because the numbers are so odd. You know, it's a lot of women, not enough men, right? So they do want their man. We talked about that on the Patreon. But a lion is a lion. No matter where you come from, you're there, and you're a lion, and you're not changing. Hey, man, women are submissive, and women are humble, and women are followers, and women are desirers of your lioness. That's why women over here give so much PDA, is because they don't want their man to have a mistress or to have another woman that are so available. So women will follow. That's why I don't want to, you get in the West, I got a crazy woman at home who don't want me. Then I got a crazy mistress who ready to try to break up my home. Man, my mistress over here good, man. Man, my girlfriends are good, man. I'm not worried about nobody calling no other girl, no girl mad at me about this. Like my girl, they fall in line like soldiers. Everybody walking the same step. Everybody walking the same step. Everybody understand, man. I got a house full, but I'm physical. They see me getting dressed and everything. I'm physical. I'll be back in 2 hours. I'm physical entertain another gal. She not ready for all this, so I got to keep her separate. I've told you that before. Certain women I date, I don't even bring them around. You're not ready for this. This is the only little bit of the line you get, right? So the women are submissive. Yes, the women need a man. Yes, when you come over here with your Westernness, they want you. They want you. So it's up to you if you really have that in you for them to follow. It's up to you if you really have that in you for them to stay submissive for a long time. Because women leave men over here too. And I told you before, when an Eastern woman, Moldovan woman stops messing with you, it's over. They'll never talk to you again. But are they submissive? Will they follow you? All three characteristics that you desire in a woman, you will find in Moldova.
Amazing, brother. And brother, I'm assuming that when you're around Moldovan women on average, they're good to be around. They're laughing all the time. They're smiling. They're just outgoing as well. They're not reserved. Is that the average traits of a Moldovan woman, bro?
I find it to be beautiful. Keisha don't do that. Keisha's so mad. Keisha's so mad. Keisha got so much luggage, so much bad experiences. These women over here smile with all 32. I'm gonna see 32 teeth when I see them. When I walk in the gym, I like to see all 32 teeth. And I see that. I feel that. I feel the energy. I feel the desire from a woman. I can feel a woman not just liking me, but curious to know more, to be around me more. Like you can feel that. So when you feel that as a Western man, you want to act on that. You want to feel more of that. Like you either want that from more women or you want that from her. So I don't. There is no aggressiveness from these women. There's none of that. You get women who are hungry for a relationship. You get women who are actually hungry for you if your energy is like that, and you get her full attention. That aggressiveness that you get from Western women and Keisha, and I don't fly BW Airlines, man. And there's a reason I don't fly their airlines, man. Too many customer complaints, lost luggage, planes going down. I'm not even trying to hear all that, man. I fly whole different airlines. And I'm telling you right now, it's been the best decision of my life. I retired from that way back in like 07, 08. So Moldovan women is up there on the list. I've spent so much time there because of not only just it's a comfortable place for me to be, but those women are very, 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 very receptive to men. And you add extra layers. I'm a Western man. I'm a tall man. I'm a good looking man. I take care of myself. I got other women who want me. I got money. I got investments. I'm smart. I have no kids. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. No kids? You don't have any kids? So then you become almost like a target. Because to have you as a boyfriend is one thing, but to have you as a man or a baby daddy, like or a husband, or to have a father with you, I've had girls like, oh, you probably have beautiful kids with beautiful eyes and long curly hair. Like, how you know I ain't got no hair? How you know it's gonna be curly? You know what I'm saying? So they be already thinking about what it would look like. I got women all the time say, you'd have a pretty daughter. Now, when I would get that from Keisha, I would turn into a gold medal track star and run that way. But when I get that from these women, I'll be like, you know what? You sure right. You right. And Bobby, how would you be thinking like that? You know what I'm saying? So women here are very different in how they treat you, how they respect you, how they desire you. You're going to get all that. And I get that primarily from Moldovan women, Eastern European women all day, every day.
Wow. Amazing, bro. Amazing. So, brother, now tell me about so you mentioned there's Moldovan women there, Ukrainian women there, Russian women there. Are there Japanese women out there in Moldova? Are there, African chicks out there in Moldova? Are there, Moroccan chicks out there in Moldova? Are there, so brother, tell me, brother, confirm to me what other nationalities and race of women are out there in Moldova, and are they all showing love towards black men and passport bros?
Okay, so I'm good with my Asians. I know about Vietnam, China. I know the difference between South Koreans and Koreans. I know the difference between a Korean and a Japanese or Chinese or a Laotian or Vietnamese or Philippine. Like I got all that. I know all. I don't mix them up like somebody who don't know. Okay. They have Korean women, Korean people, and many Koreans in Moldova. They have like they
Oh,
have they have their own shops. That's why I go get my kimchi. I go get my kimchi. When I see a Korean place, I get so happy. Those soups are spicy. I'm not trying to do the ramen thing. I go to the Korean place. I get their spicy soups. I get all this stuff. I'm so happy. My girls see I'm happy. I'm excited because it's the closest thing to my Asian contacts I've had in America. I love my Asian foods. I got my Vietnamese restaurants, my Chinese restaurants, my Japanese restaurants. I got my Thai restaurant. That's all separate people, sizes, dark, hair, size, everything. So I know the differences. So when it comes to seeing a different people here in Ukraine and in Moldova, I've always seen South Koreans. You don't
okay.
have to go to their restaurant to see the flag up there, so you can know the difference between South and North. Ain't no North Koreans, they can't get out, so it's South Korean, right? So it's Koreans. They spend a lot of time in Moldova, or they have lots of businesses they try to invest in Moldova, and then you have the same thing. But we're speaking Moldova, so Koreans. Who else I see there? You talked on Patreon. Who do I date in Moldova outside of Moldovans? Moroccans. I dated a Moroccan girl, and she had sisters, but I only dated one. So there's Moroccans there, but they were there for dental school. You're gonna see a lot of Romanians, gypsies. Okay, you're gonna see Romanians. They're gonna be mixture there. You're gonna see Turkish. Now you're gonna see more Turkish men than women. Turkish women won't come that far around the Black Sea. They'll stay more in Turkey and going on up towards Belarus. But you'll see a lot of Turkey men, but we're only speaking women. So South Korean women, students, which may come from Africa, Morocco, Northern Africa, blah, blah, Romanian women, and that's it.
Okay. So I want to ask you a very important question here, Mr. Donald. I need to know this, brother, right? But this is a message between the earth being destroyed and being saved from alien invaders. Okay. So, brother, are South Korean women in Moldova, right, checking heavy for Black men and passport bros for use? Oh man, damn.
No. Sorry, gentlemen. Let me correct this when I speak of South Korean, because when I mentioned them other cultures or them other nationalities, I was actually dating them. I'm smelling their hair. I'm sitting next to them at a restaurant somewhere, getting them outside their environment. When I speak of the Koreans, I'm speaking of a whole family, not a girl. It's not. Okay. You're not gonna find the teen Koreans here. You're gonna find the parents here. If there's a teen here, it's their parents. It's their parent store. It's a family type. They're there for business. And then they have like a like in Austin, Texas, it's a whole Asian community. So all the Thai people hang out. All the Chinese people hang. So we're not talking about that. The Koreans will hang out with Korean, but the other business people, you don't see the hot Korean girls bunched up because their parents work there. Like, nah, it's not like America. You got a bunch of Indian people, you see the girls too. You got a bunch of Asian, you see the girls. No. I'm talking about, when I speak of different cultures with Korea, I'm speaking about families and business. Now, if you're just speaking of dating, I wouldn't have even mentioned them at all.
Okay.
They're business.
Thank you, there, Donald. So next question for you, right, brother, right? So in Moldova, can we cold approach women there? Is that a thing? Or cold approach is not a thing there in Moldova?
If you don't cold approach, then you're not using your masculinity. I got to keep it PG. If you don't cold approach, then you're not using your masculinity because you're getting signals. So why aren't you listening to the signals? She called you over there. She opened the door for you to walk over there. Now, I know we've been taught and trained and PTSD of trying to approach a Western woman and getting turned down, shot at, police called on us, laughed at, girlfriends tweeted about. The next meme is you getting turned down, like you. All that happened from me trying to go talk to this one girl. Like, nah, gentlemen, that never happened to me. So I don't have PTSD. All right. But for those who have a bad reaction in the West from the cold approach, I'm sorry, gentlemen, you're going to have to untuck yourself and let it hang and go out here and approach, because you can't talk any other language but the nonverbal language. Okay, once again, I'm giving you too much. You don't know no other language, gentlemen. You don't know Russian. You don't know Moldovan. You don't even know hot eyes nonverbal communication. So I'm trying to teach you guys what you're going to experience first is the nonverbal, because they're not going to come to you and say anything. They're going to be forward enough. Now you're going to have women who come to you and talk to you, but only if you're in an environment where you're there consistently or you're sitting down. The gym, the club. They've had enough. They've had a little bit in them. They can ask you when you come to the bar. No one's going to come to your table if you're over there with your bow at. So I'm trying to give you guys how. This is why you go by yourself. So when a girl looks at you, you don't have to get you don't have to get the balls or the gall or the inspiration from your boy or from your drink or from your wine. You get the inspiration from 2 seconds. She's looking at me. I looked up. I looked at this other girl. And I look, she's looking again. I'm like, you know, and if she does it too, you're like, man, come here, man. Now you can be a boss and say, come here, or you can get your butt up and go over there, introduce yourself to her, and make sure you say your name clear and loud, because she don't know your Western name. Say it clear and loud. Put your hand out there to get her name. When she gives you her hand, look her in the eyes and say, thank you, you know, or glad to meet you. Me, I pull them close. I pull them close in. I told you all those tricks already. I'm not giving you everybody the tricks. I use the same tricks in Moldova. I put their hand out there and pull them close in. Moldova women like a kiss on the left. You know, I'm not telling you all that. So anyways, you approach them. You approach them from that window that they give you. You will get the window through the nonverbal communication. It's up to you to read the language, because you definitely don't know Ruski. You definitely don't know Moldovan. You don't know Romanian. So it's best for you to use your English and use their nonverbal communication.
Interesting there, brother. But you mentioned how they give signals, Moldovan women, right? What kind of tuning signals do they give out? Is it eye contact? Is it a smile? They look at you, look away. That's very important for us to know, brother, so we can act on that particular interest from them.
Boy, y'all should be getting some game from me, boy. So you're going to get multiple signals, gentlemen. The same way you get listen, gentlemen, the same way you get multiple denials in the West, you're going to get multiple signals of entry here. The same way you get multiple, no, I don't want to give you my number. You can get that in so many ways in the West. You're going to get multiple signals here. You're going to get first eye contact. They're going to look you up and down when you walk in. I'm going to tell you right now, you know what I get a lot of times when I'm walking? I tell my girls this all the time, man. I corrected my girls. I checked my girls on this sometimes a long time ago, especially some girls. I don't. That's why I tell you I don't walk with certain women, certain moms. I don't walk with them at certain times. I only do 8 to 9, or 8 to 10, late night walks, coffees. Some women I don't want to be seen walking with, because what happens is they judge me, then they judge who I'm walking with. Now it's not judging. That's just what women do. Women look you up and down, but they'll look up and down the woman you're walking with. So I usually give women multiple things to look at. So we talked about this before, gentlemen. They're going to give you signals. They're going to pay attention to how you dress. But a lot of times, gentlemen, when you're aware, you're going to see them before they see you. Same way I see the bum who asking people for money, but not asking nobody but me. The same way I see the police holder, I see the drunk guy, I see the 304. I'm paying attention. All right. So you got to be paying attention to when you walk in the room, you debonair, you scan the whole room. I come in, I put my jacket, I'm masking, I put my jacket where it's supposed to be. The people, I pay the person with take my jackets. I find a table, I walk first in front of all the girls, or I walk behind. I'm paying attention, I'm laid back, but I'm scanning these women. I'm scanning how they looking at me, my presentation, how I'm sitting down, who ordering the drinks. If they be watching you, man. They don't have a TV like you are the TV. So you need to be aware that, man, you're like on an interview right now. From the moment you walk in, I'll scan those eyes. I'll sit at the table with my girls and stuff, and I'll scan them eyes. I'll be having a good ass time talking to everybody, but I'll be scanning them eyes. I'll be knowing who I like when I walk up in there. And I'm gonna give when I see the signals, it's gonna be eye contact. It's gonna be big smiles. I get big smiles every day. From the moment I get in my elevator to walk in the gym, the stores, everything. I get big smiles every day. That's one thing I love about being in Eastern Europe. So Moldova is no different. I'm gonna get more smiles throughout the day. It's like, by you being up here alone, you're not in the West, you're gonna feel it. You're gonna walk home and like, man, that felt good. It's like you got to get out every day. That's why I say you're gonna walk your triangle, because you're gonna get these choosing signals that you don't get in the West, and it sort of fuels your confidence. It fuels you up. Like, next time I'm gonna do this. Next time a woman does that, I'm gonna do this, because you're getting it so often. It's like a language you're learning. It's a language you're learning. Like, man, all right, women looking at me like this, man. Women look at me and say she smiled and stuff. So you'll learn. So when I'm going to go to the bathroom, you take a detour to the bar. You stop by those tables. You stop by the table of the girls who are looking at you, and don't feel ashamed, gentlemen. I said this last time. There's places I go. There's so many girls. I got a politic, meaning I'm a introducing myself to certain girls. I'm saying certain things nobody can hear. I'm getting off of her, getting her telegram, moving on to the next one. Now in the West, girls will cut you off. They're like, man, you walk around talking to everybody. But over here, it's different. You're not married, you don't have a girlfriend, and it's almost like you're the Western guy. People want to talk to you, and you're not coming across as a creep. It's almost like you're coming across as like, hey man, if you're not coming to my table, this small moment I'm walking around, this is when you won't get a chance to talk to me. Other than that, girls will come to your table for drinks. It's no problem for you to ask girls to come to your table for drinks. You're going to get multiple choosing signals, gentlemen. We're not part of the rainbow crew. We're not teens. You guys know what those choosing signals are. They're the opposite of what you get in the West. So you have to do the opposite of what you do in the West. You have to react to those signals. Smiles. You're going to get that a lot. They may not mean they want you. They're just being open. Now it's up to you to take it there to up the chances. You're going to get eye contact. You're going to get names. There's no reason why you can get a girl's name and you don't get a number. I have never gotten a girl's name ever, and I haven't gotten a number.
Amazing.
So these signals, gentlemen, you guys have to act on. That's all I can tell you guys. That you got to react to. There's a multitude of signals. Now, if you want to sit back like Prince and let them come to you, try that. That works for me, Doja. That works for me too. But I just know when I know what I want, I am a little bit more active. I can sit back, and you know what happens over here? You'll end up taking home 304s because you sat back and let girls come to you, and they were the drunkest, bravest ones. You didn't act in your masculinity, so now you might as well let this masculine girl come home and rainbow you, like that.
So hold on there. Shout out to Mr. Black Scorpion for the support. Appreciate you, bro. Brother, send some support in. If you have any questions, send your questions in the super chat or PayPal donation. As you know, Python course starts at the end of this month, so make sure you join my Python course. Go on the Patreon. Look for the tier called the Ultimate Python Course January 2025 tier. Aside from that, after the stream, we have the Ethiopian wife interview. That'll be 1 hour 30 minutes from now. Okay, so don't you miss that. It's going to be a very interesting stream. So let's carry on here, Donald. We've got around half an hour left, bro. Okay. So next question for you, bro, right, is so brother, you're telling me that in Moldova, we have the options to date Moldovan woman, Russian, Ukraine, Romanian, mostly, right? Is that correct? Awesome.
Very.
So now, and brother, so the Romanian and the Moroccan women in Moldova are checking for brothers, correct?
Correct. Well,
awesome,
I mean, the Romanian women, hey. We weren't talking about that. That's a whole different situation.
We won't. We'll leave that for another stream, okay?
Yes, sir. That's what I'm about to say. Yeah, you about to touch something else. So you will get a positive reaction from the Romanians. I'll say that.
Okay. So, brother, now as for dating apps, right? Do you use that in Moldova?
Never.
Okay.
I have not even used Tinder in Moldova. My plate is full. My cup is overrunneth. No, I do not use any. Gentlemen, I only did that in Kiev because I'm being greedy. I'm telling you, when I'm over there, I got the internet. I got the UN, the United Nations, in my house. I got the United Nations in my apartment, and then when I walk out every day, I got choosing signals. They've got my brain going crazy. So
okay,
it's you're good, gentlemen. I'm good. I'm good.
Okay, brother. So, brother, next question for you right here is, so what's the best way to meet Moldovan women? We've not touched upon that. Would you say the gym, which is your spot, your triangle, the gym, or would you say library, or would you say through a friend? What's the best way to meet a good wifey Romanian woman? Sorry, a good wifey Moldovan woman, brother, in your honest opinion?
Now, we know good and well none of y'all can't read this. None of y'all can't read none of this. So you don't want to be in the library because you're going to be looking like a terrorist. Okay? So don't go to the library. So I've been in libraries before. Believe me, I love reading books. I've been in libraries before. And I look crazy in the library. So the triangle, gentlemen, I stick with that. So I did touch up on earlier how to meet Moldovan women. I tell you guys, if I have my girl say, I don't leave my house till around 5:30, 6:30 in the evening is when I leave. So it ain't like every day I'm out at 10, 11, 12, so I get all this daylight time to be hunting. Okay. I'm leaving around at 5:30, 6:30 time because I got to hit the gym. There's a certain level of people that's good. My gym closes at 8:39. I'm trying to catch certain women. Now on Saturdays and Sundays, I may be at the gym maybe 1 or 2. Okay. But so when it comes to meeting, yes, gentlemen, I'm sorry, my lifestyle is different. So I do a gym plan every day because that's like my second office. Okay. The gym is like my office. I get chances therapy. I get a chance to think. I get a chance to see a lot of people. I get a lot of handshakes. La 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 la. And that's the gym in Moldova, gym here. So I do the gym. But gentlemen, when I'm out, after I leave the gym, it's open season. I walk out that gym with my muscles glistening. I'm swole. I'm feeling good. I'm confident. Man, it's open season. I'm walking slower. I'm done. I'm hunting. Like when I leave that gym, I'm like a tiger that's hungry. So that means on my walk to the house, I got all this activity. So that's when I stop. I don't go to the market. I stop at cafes with the open tables outside and all the people walking by. I put my bag down at the gym. I go get me a nice good coffee. And from the girls who work in the coffee shop to the people walking by, it's all open season. Okay, so for you guys, you passport bros who don't have sand, your own sand, who don't bring your own sand to the beach, exotic sand. For you passport bros who's there for short term, who don't have this time to go to the places every day, to be seen every day. So this is what you do: you get your butt out the bed, Western man. And you put on your whatever you're gonna put on for that day. It might be a little warm, so don't be wearing all these hot pants, all that kind of stuff, because you're gonna be walking around looking like a sweaty Western man. Put on what you're gonna put on to match the culture, to relax, but it's cool. You wear what you wear in the West. Remember, you gotta stand out. Get out the house. If you're not going to the gym, if you're lazy, your muscles don't want to be swollen, if you don't want that masculinity, that extra testosterone pouring off your body, then walk around like the Western guy. Okay, see how that works for you. Walk around like the Western guy with no testosterone, no muscles, no push-ups, and see how that works for you. Because what you're going to do is you have more time now to be interacting with more girls. If you don't have that testosterone in you, then how are you going to approach these girls? See, I don't understand. That's why it's hard for me to tell you guys that sit at home who don't do nothing and say, I'm just going to go over here to Moldova and just talk to these girls because my masculinity is in my brain. That's great. You're going to have to fake it, shake it. You're going to have to do something, man. Because if you're not going to the gym, which a lot of Eastern European guys, they're physically fit. There's bars outside of apartments. They got monkey bars. They got pull-up bars. They got dip bars outside the apartment. So you see old men out there doing stuff, and you be like, man, I'm tripping if I'm missing all this activity. Anyways, if you're not into the activity for yourself, the gym, and get out the apartment, get out your flat, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, you're going to have a long day. Because now you got to go over here, you got to have a good lunch. You got to chill. See if you can interact with a person or two. If that don't work, you go 0 for 0 in those 2 hours because you're busy eating like a fat Westerner. You're busy with your thing, your phone. You're looking at your phone. You're not paying attention to the women. You ain't put your phone down. You off into your food. Okay, then cool. For those 2 hours, you just wasted. Now let's go to a bar or go to the Moldova Mall or go to a cafe and you sit down. Early, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, man, I don't know what to tell you. Now you can go to a park or you can go to another cafe and sit outside, or you can walk around because there's going to be women walking around you all day. I told you, gentlemen, by the end of the day, you should have at least 6 numbers. I can't tell you how to do it. Now you might look crazy going cafe to cafe. That's your boring self because you can't close a deal. Okay. But you're going to have access to a lot of girls walking around and women going out for lunch and stuff. You're going to have access to that. Spend 3 hours doing that, seeing the city. Stop a girl asking for directions. Her English might be pretty good. Stop and ask 4 or 5 girls for directions. Out of the 4 or 5, you're going to come out with one where you got a name and a number. Do that. Mr. No Testosterone. Go talk to the girls, ask them for directions like a weak man, and then see, and you're going to get numbers and information like that. Okay? Go home, take a nap. All right? Then, after you take a nap, now it's time to come out and have dinner again. Remember, you don't got your American buddy with you, so you got to put in this work, gentlemen. What'd you go to Moldova for? Okay, so you got to go back out again. Now it's getting a little bit darker. It's gonna have different girls out. You go hit up another cafe for meals only, no drinks. You're doing the same thing. You're having a good food, but you don't mind when you see people coming in. It's not when you eat like America, when you eating, it's just you by yourself. You eat, you don't mess with nobody. Over here, it's different, man. You order one small beer, you say hi, you say what's up. You gotta be proactive, Jim. You gotta be a little bit extroverted. Okay. If you're introverted back home, you gotta change and be extroverted when you go to the West, to Eastern Europe. Okay. So that's all I'm saying. You gotta be, by the time that nighttime come, you should be getting ready to be at a bar where there's more drinking at, or you should be getting ready to go to disco. Now, before you get to that disco, you should have run through a range of really, really good girls that was not drunk, that was not doing stuff, that was in their daily life, that was proactive, they were focused, going to work, going to school. By the time you get to the disco, you should have closed 5 deals, gentlemen, at least 3 to 5. So when you get to that disco, now you got a range of good girls and possibly 3 or 4s, right? But your batting average should go up at the disco. I'm just saying, when you're in Eastern Europe, you don't need the disco. So for Western guys, they do well at the disco at the end of the night, but then they're not doing well with the caliber of girl that they can. That it's gonna change. And I mean, these meeting girls drunk at the disco, they may be in girl time. They're not trying to hang out with you. Like you just, it's not gonna be so easy like the West, because there's so many girls there. You got to push yourself into their group. Remember that, gentlemen. This tables are full of girls. Now, the only way you can push yourself into that group if you're a cool dude. Or you just sit back and you invite them to your table, which girls love that. Lots of girls will pick up their stuff and go to tables. I see that all the time here. Dudes know, hey man, y'all get y'all drinks and come over. I see that all the time. So I'm sorry, gentlemen. Since I said that, if you bring your buddy, you boys put your testicles together, add that testosterone, and invite girls to your table. That's the only way you won't have a rainbow flag over your table, is because y'all keep inviting girls. That's the only thing a partner will help you do, is you guys can have the courage together to ask these girls to come to your table. And you got the finances together to have the beers flowing. Okay? That's the only thing that's good and positive about having another Western guy with you, is that it increases your courage to get groups of girls to hang out with you. But for the one-on-one situation, your boy gonna be in the way.
Wow, amazing. So let me ask this right, brother. So brother, you can confirm to me that the average Moldovan woman is wifey. So there's more wifey women than non-wifey women, right? Awesome, brother. Now let's say a passport bro ends up marrying a Moldovan woman, or makes her his girlfriend, right? And he takes her to America or Western country. Will that Moldovan woman stick to her ways, or do you feel like she will eventually turn into a Western woman because she's in a Western country? So how strong-willed is the average Moldovan woman to push against Western brainwashing and programming in a Western country if you take her out, brother? Will she change, or will she keep the same?
Good question. So they stay the same. And I'm giving you guys, when I answer real fast from that, I'm giving you guys from personal experience. And I'm also giving you guys from watching Moldovan girls who got wiped up. Now, I don't know one American guy who went over there, wiped up a Moldovan girl. He married her. I was invited to the wedding. I didn't go. I was in Moldova, but I didn't go to the wedding. I was busy. He married her, and she left him before they got to the USA. He was lacking some things to keep his woman, and he ended up losing her. Okay, now, that's one situation, gentlemen. We're going to scratch that out because that goes with, that's an individual situation. These Moldovan, Eastern European women, they keep the character. So what I notice is, of course, you got, what I like to the shows, 90 Day Fiance. And you watch them try to go to Kiev and get women and come back and bring their girl. I'll be laughing because I'm in Kiev having all of them. You want to hear the one and she don't want you? Man, I feel sorry for you. So I'll be loving them shows. I love them shows. Well, one of them shows, they had a girl from Moldova. She went to America. So the guy was Moldovan, not her, sorry. But so what I noticed, even with the first Ukrainian woman I met in America, she was with her Ukrainian husband. I met her in 2008, before I even came over here. I didn't know who I was with until I got to Ukrainian, and I started seeing women with that blonde hair and light blue eyes. And I was like, wait a minute. That woman I met in Texas who worked at the diamond store, she was Ukrainian. I forgot. She used to bring wine to my house. She used to bring me Ukrainian food. She used to always she kept her Ukrainian culture. And she used to shower me with it. But I was so busy with all my girlfriends. This is just another older white woman coming to my house from a different country. It didn't matter to me. But it wasn't until I got to Ukraine, that's how I remember it. So I remember a woman who kept her culture. So in Moldova, women keep their culture. Women are women. They keep their culture. Eastern European women keep their culture. But on an individual basis, a lot of men lose bringing their woman back. A lot of men don't, but a lot of men lose. Okay, I can't speak for those men, but what I can speak for, a lot of women don't really care about leaving. They're not like Ukrainian women. A lot of Ukrainian women left. They're gone. They're all in different countries, everywhere. Moldovan women are not like that. They're not highly desired. Other men, meaning that Romania's right here, Ukraine's right here, Russia's right here, Poland's right here. Ain't nobody going down to Moldova. So this is the advantage you have. Okay, so but the question is, do they stay with you, Moldovan? From what I see, they stay in their zone, they stay in their culture. It's you introducing all this mess to them. You know what I'm saying? So they do stay in their culture. I don't know enough married Moldovan women who've gotten overseas who left their man, but I do know a lot of Moldovan women who are married and their men work out the country and they're loyal. I do know a lot of Moldovan women who have families and stuff who are dating a man who's not in the country, because a lot of women date foreign men. So I do know that, but I can't speak for it when you take her home. We all know what's going to happen over time, over time and experiences and being westernized. And, it probably helps when you have kids and stuff. She stays culture. She's in the house. She's trying to, bring the culture to the family. But if she's just your wife and you trying to bring it to America and show her everything, good luck, brother. That goes for everything. So I can't speak on those situations, but women over here stay with their man. They stay in their culture. They don't have men over here. They don't have that many options. So they do love you. If their man work overseas and he comes back and send the money Moldova, they love that man. I've seen it countless of times.
Amazing, brother. Amazing stream so far. I want to definitely end it in 20 minutes. I got a stream after this about Ethiopian woman. So brothers, phone lines are open. If you want to call in, this is the time to call in about questions you have about Moldovan women, Moldovan culture, life, because I doubt we have any Moldovan streams in the future. Like Donald's the only black guy out there. But I wanted a few, so now's the time for you to call in. So again, brothers, Python course. We start class. If you want to be out there like Donald, you need a remote job, a good industry, and that's IT. Okay, that's why we're pushing IT towards you, brothers, man. So make sure you join the Python course. So I've got a question for you, Donald. Right? Why wait for a caller? Okay, so let me ask this, brother. Right? So Moldovan woman versus Ukrainian woman versus Moldovan woman, brother. Who are you picking and why?
Ukrainian one. So on the list of the most beautiful, Ukraine's up to 2. On the list with the women with the countries with the most women, Armenia's number 1, Ukraine's number 2. So if you go down that list, Latvia and all that countries, you'll be wondering why I'm going to these countries, because they are part of that list. But that's above y'all's head. So Ukrainian women all day.
Why?
All day. Women Ukrainian, they're the most beautiful. They're the most beautiful, untampered, like Russian women, meaning that a lot of people was going to trying to mess with Russian women. A lot of people dating Russian women in New York, Trump, other people messing with Russian women. Like that's normal in the 80s. All the Wall Street guys wanted Russian women, Russian escorts, models, blah, blah, blah. It's the Ukrainian untouched pure beauties that kings have been fighting for. As you get over here, you find the Ottoman Empire, they had Ukrainian women in the harem. The Mongol Empire had Ukrainian women in their harem, meaning they had 300 women, but their top women were the Ukrainians. The Mongols did it. The Ottomans did it. I come over here and see this history. I do this because I'm looking at history. I do that, but they got it in the series and the movies and all the histories and the paintings and stuff. Like, who was that dark-skinned warrior with that Ukrainian girl? Really? It's in the history books of how beautiful they were and how sought after they were. Okay, so that's number 1. Then I get over here and I start having them. Okay, so that's number 1. I would put Russian women like number 2, man. The Moldovan women would be 3. Polish women are up there, but Polish women have a different flavor to them than Russian and Ukrainian. And I'm over here and I understand, like, they're beautiful and all that kind of stuff, but Poland is so close to the West. The country is wider. People can have cars. You can't walk everywhere. So you got to be in the center to have that congestedness of women, as opposed to in Russia and Ukraine, you can walk to certain places and still be congested with women. In Moldova, congested. We're talking about beauty. Ukraine's number 1. Lighter eyes, longer hair, real. I pulled some hair tonight when I was, yeah. Anyways, yeah, longer hair, uh, prettier eyes. They got them full lips, taller. Because remember, I didn't get a chance to talk about it in the stream. We talked about it on the Patreon, like the women in Moldova, they start to get shorter. I started noticing more hips, which is cool. We West, we like more hips, darker hair, not so much of the light eyes. Here in Russia, in Ukraine, I can see blue eyes everywhere. I can just throw a rock and hit a girl with light blue eyes, too light. Then you get to Moldova and you gotta search for the blondes. You gotta search for the blue eyes. So when it comes to certain kind of beautiful women, man, I know what my taste is like. I know what my Slavic, that pure Slavic women. Romania and Moldova is not doing pure Slavic. I'm over here for the purity, the high grade, 200% pure. The stuff that everybody's cutting down. Those girls, when they get to Miami and Florida, Tom Brady, Tom Cruise, Leonardo, they're chasing the watered down versions of the purity. So I say these girls are the Ukrainian girls are the most beautiful. And then as you go around the Black Sea, it just starts to, Moldovan, then Romanian, then Belarusian, then it just starts to get different. Okay, but I'm sorry, I'm gonna be a bit biased. I am a Ukrainian connoisseur.
Okay. So, but let me ask this, right? So, let me ask this. So, would you say on average, right, Moldovan women are good looking on average? Or would you say it's 50-50? 50% is good looking, 50% not good looking, brother? On average, they are? Okay.
Yeah, you're gonna hit that about that 68, 69, 70%. 72. Now let's stick to the range. Let's stick to the range of 22 to 50. You're gonna see about that 75, 80% range, gentlemen. Now, of course, in Ukraine, you're gonna be like 90. You're like, man, there's a lot of pretty women here, man. Man, she's 38. That's a beautiful woman, man. She don't look 38. Okay. But in Moldova, by them having a little bit more hips and stuff, I started, it's not like I see a lot of fupas, kangaroos jumping around. You don't see a lot of stomach. I'm sorry, gentlemen. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You don't see a lot of stomach, but I see zero over here. I can go a whole year without seeing a fupa. So I don't know how that feel to see it every day on a whole bunch of women anymore. I got to go to YouTube to see that. So not saying in Moldova you see that, but I'm just saying like you're not gonna see a bunch of slender women. You may see a little stomach here. You may see some thickness here, and that's just normal as you get around the Black Sea to the darker cultures. Sorry for having a long answer.
No, that's it, brother. So, brother, right? I know that not all Moldovan women are perfect. There'll be some bad apples, right? Like in every country. But how do you vet and spot Moldovan women that don't fit the feminine, cooperative, submissive type? But how do you spot pretenders? How do you spot the feminists? How do you spot women who are not traditionally Moldovan, brother? How do you vet them, brother, to make sure that she's the right one and she's a bad apple, brother? I think that's very important.
No. I got you 100%. You're gonna see 100% submissive women. You know when you find out the woman's not submissive?
Tell me.
When you marry them. So these women over here want a man, right? The numbers are different. There's not many men. So the women are given a perfect job. So I gotta find out from men who are married. I gotta find out from women who are married on how they treat their husbands to find out. Say, man, you being a real bee to him. Man, you sound like a Western woman. You doing that man like that. You let me do all this, but you have him on a chain. So I gotta see the women who I gotta talk to wives. When I talk to some certain wives who are there's certain Moldovan women, there's certain Ukrainian women who run their husbands. I'm sorry, it is like it is. It is what it is. Now, them women sometimes seem to have some masculinity to us, but it's not masculinity because when she's with me, she's pure. I can do everything, but I know he's under rules and stuff. So I was like, I'm like, okay, cool. So but you don't see that from girlfriends. Maybe if you're a Moldovan dude, because she's trying to keep you, she don't want you having mistresses. But as far as Western guys and stuff like that, Jim and you're gonna get submissive women. They're gonna hide it from you. You got to find out. The way I find out is I just stay me. They know I got girls. They know I got girls from this country, that country, this country, that. So according to how she acts, like, if she ends up being like, my girl, then she obviously didn't care. So I don't want to hear any jealousies after that, because you knew me from the beginning. But other men we talked about before, you will be claimed, and they may be territorial over you, but you're not going to meet aggressive masculine women until you're married. Like, it's not normal for a woman single to be acting like that. That's normal in the West. That aggressiveness, I don't know how it gets them anything. A husband, a bedmate, I don't know how it gets them dinner at night. I don't know how it happens. Over here, you won't see that aggressiveness until she's your wife. Then she has all claims to your domain. So they act different, and I understand that anywhere around the world.
So you're saying don't get married at all? Just don't get married. It's not worth getting married at all. Whether she is Moldovan, Ukrainian, just don't get married.
I mean, if you can only handle one glass of wine, then you're good. I mean, I like to have more than one glass of wine, so I'm not worried about getting married, because I'm married to the game. I'm married to all of them. So I'm married to my hustle. I mean, women know I'm not marriage material right now. We discussed that last time. So, I have options. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I've met a lot of girls who are marriage material. I've met a lot. I've run through them. That's what I prefer. But, as for you passport bros, you coming over here, you looking for a woman. Moldova is a good woman. It's a good place. You're gonna find beautiful women. Your money's gonna be long. You're gonna find a hot woman. You will find that, gentleman. You're gonna write back to IP. You're gonna write me. You're gonna say, man, I found something in Moldova, man. You wasn't lying. But I can't guarantee what's gonna happen month after month after month, because you might be a sucker. I can't guarantee that. I live with these women. I see them all the time. I don't live with you, chump. I don't know you. You might be a sucker. You might not be worthy for her to keep. You might be somebody that she not want to keep in here in the East or in the West. I don't know, gentlemen. You guys got to come present yourself correct. That's what I'll say.
So let me ask this, brother, right? So last question for me, or for you, before I bring in Jam in the background. Let me ask this, brother, right? So now, brother, I know you have multiple women, brother, right?
Yeah.
But the Moldovan woman, do they get angry if a dude has multiple women? Let's say you got a main Moldovan girlfriend, and you tell her, hey, I want to have multiple girlfriends, but you're my main chick. Obviously, you can't have multiple boyfriends. That's not how it works, but you're my main chick. I look after you. However, I want to have a girlfriend here, girlfriend there, girlfriend there. Does the average Moldovan chick accept that kind of life, or they'll push back, brother?
You know what? You've inspired me. IP.
Okay.
So next time, if I start my Patreon, next time we do this, I'll make sure I can call a Moldovan girl on the line, so that way you have a contact. If I had a Patreon, I put a Moldovan on the phone. I ask you same questions. I do not have a problem with Moldovan women or any woman, because they see me who I am the first time.
Okay.
So therefore, I don't have this later on saying, hey, I promise you're gonna hear girls say, hey, he always shows up at the gym with different girls. Like, I don't want to be saying this stuff. That's why the first time you called me, I had a girl right here, like, telling some of this stuff, because I don't feel comfortable, because some of your listeners might say, man, he just telling stories. Like, nah, I'm not telling stories. That's how I live. It's not content. So in my opinion, like, man, these women don't be jealous. I haven't had a woman be jealous in a long time. Like, I don't. They don't get jealous. Like, I've never had a Moldovan girl. Maybe the 22-year-old girl, she was a little, because like one of the girls that was from Ukraine, she was like 22, 23. So there was a 22-year-old girl in Moldova I paid attention to. And gentlemen, I don't date a lot of women. I choose who I want to date. There's a lot of women who want to date me, but I have to be careful. I have selections of women I date, older and younger. I'm very, picky about that. But this one particular girl that I like, she was just, she got caught up a little bit on some of the beautiful girls I had around me all the time. So that's different. But the older women, they know what's up. They say, hey, man, he's an older man. He got options from younger to older. He don't have a wife or any kids. So I can't say nothing. I'm just glad to have his presence, have his time, have his attention. But some of the young girls would be like, well, who is she? And why is she? Well, who is the other girl? Like, so that might happen, man. It might be a little jealousy, but for the most part, I didn't get it. We just stopped, talking. I don't really get that. I don't get any girls confronting me, nothing like that. If you're a Western guy, you own your own zone, you own your own focus. They're not questioning you so much. They'll look at you and say, he has options. Now, once a woman sees that, they act differently. Y'all so used to these women in the West who look at y'all as having no options. That's why they treat y'all like you don't have options. When a man has options, there's a different treatment you get. I'm sorry, gentlemen. I can't explain that part. This is a certain way that they treat me, talk to me, come at me when they call me. When my lawyer take me out, she knows she can't come into my house. She knows it'd be different girls up here, so she try to have a good time with me. And do I look good in this? How's this picture right here? I know it's not as hot as the girls seeing you in your pictures. I don't want to be naked. I'm a lawyer, but they know you got levels as a bachelor. So there's women who will come correct, or there's women who won't come at all. But what they no Diddy, but what they won't do is they won't treat you like the Western women if they know you got like Western women. Sometimes they know if you got other women, they want you. I'm sorry, that's just how it is. That happens over here, big time.
Wow, amazing breakdown there, bro. So, a question for you, if I'm bringing, he says here, "What up, bro? What group has more cakes on average?" So, cakes meaning behind, but keeping it PG, bro. He means, is it Moldovans, Ukrainians, or Russians? Who has more cakes out of those three groups of women, brother? Moldovans, Ukrainians, or Russians?
Double the cake, Moldovans. Now, listen to me. Listen to me good. There's more hips when I got to Moldova. I noticed that. But with those hips didn't come the beauty to match. But I noticed there's more bums, more cake, extra layers of cake, 2-3 layers. In Romania, 5 layers of cake. Too much cake. No icing. Too much cake in Romania. So when it comes to cake, it's going to be Moldovan over Russians over Ukrainians. If y'all want cake and you want that same beauty, hit Moldovan. If you want more cake and she don't have to be beauty, hit Romania, hit Turkey. You're going to find cake. I don't know what else to say, man. I can show you pictures of me and 4 or 5 girls in Turkey, and I'm just telling you, I still wasn't like I don't know what else to say. I don't know what to say.
Jam, can you turn your camera on in the background so I know you're not a troll? Classic stream, absolute classic, man. I got Ethiopia an hour from now. Ethiopia live stream. You'll confirm, Jam. Ethiopia live stream, brothers. An hour from now, I'm gonna interview a brother who's married to an Ethiopian woman. So we're having a 1 hour break, okay? And it should be a good stream, man. So you have Moldova today and Ethiopia. This is to inspire you brothers to get out there. This is why we preach IT to for you brothers for remote work. Jam is an IT bro. He's out there in Brazil, living it up. So it can be you, man. Do my Python course, do Phil's cloud course. We're pushing you brothers to be out there, man. So let me bring in Jam. He's got a question for you, okay? Donald, what's going on, Jam? How you doing, bro?
I'm great, man. I'm at a restaurant right now. But I had to catch the stream because, like you said, it's probably the only stream we get on Moldova. So, I was doing research while I was listening to this brother.
Your audio's pretty bad, bro.
You saying about how you spend time with your
No, we can't hear you, Jam. You're outside. We're having background noise. It's muffled. Can't hear you at all, bro. We can't hear you, man. If you can get somewhere to quiet, it's gonna be your last question. Even worse, man. Even worse, Jam. Can you fix that, bro? Because I need to go. Let's prepare for the next stream. This has been a great stream. Thank you very much, Donald.
Give me 2 seconds.
Okay, brother. And also no music in the background because of copyright as well, brother. So please get to a place where there's no music as well. So this is incredible, bro. I want to say thank you, bro, for giving us more options, because Ukraine not on the list because obviously we know what's happening out there. But I think it will open up this year if Trump has fixes the peace between Ukraine and Russia. Then we have Moldova also as an option as well. That's not been touched ever in the passport space, as far as I'm aware. Awesome, bro. Thank you.
So let me say this. Let me say this to you. So first of all, thank you, Api, because when you reached out to me, I don't make content, gentlemen. Like I don't even put all my pictures in Facebook and like really Facebook, but Instagram. I opened up an Instagram recently only because there were so many gentlemen in the passport arena looking for, So when you contacted me, I was like, you know what? I don't mind talking to you. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I don't want to share too much because some of the stuff is just for Patreon only. But it's the truth. I live over here. I've been over here for a long time. This is my lifestyle. I don't make content. And like you inspire me to give my story, because like I won't share this with a lot of men because I live this style and I live this so naturally. Like it's just hard to share this with men other than like my brother, friends I grew up with. They know who Donald is. And you inspired me to share a little bit. Even from the last time, there were gentlemen who contacted me on my IG, and they wanted to sit down for small consultations. Hey, I want to come there, even with the war there. I see it's okay. Can we sit down for consultations? So I want to say I thank you for that. My Patreon's not open now, but I feel like I'm not afraid to open up myself a little bit more to you guys. Cause it's not afraid. It ain't none of y'all business. Y'all don't need to see all these hot women. Y'all don't need to see all these videos. Y'all don't need to see me at beaches with topless women. Y'all don't need to see all that. But I'm like, you know what? Thanks to IP, I'm inspired to share a little bit. So hopefully soon, by February 7th, I'll have my Patreon open. I hope you don't mind me talking about that. But my Instagram, you guys have access to me at Black Slav Life, Black Slav. Just find me at Black Slav, BLACSLAV. And then what I'll do for you guys, and by February 1st, I should have my Patreon open, and I'll be taking you guys through multiple videos all around Eastern Europe, the details, and then some of the stuff we don't discuss here. So thank you, IP, for giving me an opportunity there, man. Because otherwise, I've been doing this for a whole lot of years, and I keep it all to myself. All to myself. I'm greedy, man.
Awesome, brother. We'll have you on again for a different country, of course. Definitely, absolutely, brother.
You let me know beforehand, because I'm gonna surprise you one of these days. On my Patreon, I'll have different girls here we can talk to, different models, different people. I'll do that. But on yours, you let me know next time, and I'm gonna guarantee you I'm gonna have a female sitting here that's probably gonna answer all the questions for me, and you're gonna get a chance to hear it from them, and you'll know it's not a lie. Because I can't show you all the pictures unless we Patreon. If we Patreon, I'll show you even more. Okay, you know how we do it.
Thank you, Donald. Appreciate you, brother. Salute to you, bro.
Thank you.
So I've got Jam in the background. I'm going to bring him on. That'll be the last question from Jam. Then we'll end the stream, okay? So, Jam, one question, Jam.
Yeah, I'll be quick, especially because, I'm outside. I'm not sure if my audio is too good, but I just wanted to ask, right, about housing, right? Because I was looking at Airbnb, like prices, all that stuff. You're saying you're paying $500-$600. How did you go about getting apartments in Moldova? That's my only question. Thank you.
Okay, great question, gentlemen. If you guys were listening from the beginning, I told you guys I've never used Airbnb since I've been over here 13 years. I won't use it. Now, it's not that I have anything against Airbnb. I just know that that's a Western thing. And when they come over here, they put the Airbnb up, they hike the prices up, and you got to go through 2 or 3 realtors to get your apartment, meaning you may be paying 2 or 3 people, so you're going to get Western taxed. Cut that out, gentlemen. Act like someone that's here. So, for Moldova, you guys will have 2 options. You get online and you just go to Moldova and you find apartments. Skip the Airbnb process because you're going to skip the Western tax. You're going to find somebody that's going to be there. They'll take your money immediately. They'll talk to you in your language, or they'll help you. And then they'll have your apartment waiting for your keys when you arrive. If you do the Airbnb thing, I don't know. I'm not too comfortable with that. And as a Western guy, me skipping Airbnb means I'm skipping cameras. And I usually have some baddies with me, and I don't need nobody keeping cameras in my house. So because I'm just timid about every little thing that Westerners be doing that they don't do here, I'm just careful of it. I avoid Airbnb because that's Western. I don't want to pay nobody Western for their apartment. I don't want to have nothing Western in my life when I'm over here. That's why I refuse to use Airbnb. Plus, I get better options from the locals, the people who negotiate with me. Airbnb is not negotiating. They got their prices, but the locals negotiate. Oh, you want to stay 2 more weeks? I got you. Oh, you want to do this? I got you. Oh, you want this ready for you? You coming back next month? I'll hold it for you. Airbnb don't do that. That's too much red tape, too much stuff you got to go through. That's the reason why my girls don't even know what Airbnb means. And I travel and rent a lot of different places. We go local. We go to the apartment place, apartments in Moldova. We look up Chisinau. We look it up. We pay them people that little small money they pay. We send it early. When you get to your airport, when you get to the airport, because you can fly to Moldova. You can't fly to Ukraine. You can fly to Moldova. So when you get to Chisinau airport, real easy, real small airport, you get a taxi out front. That taxi going to take you straight to your apartment. Guess who's going to be waiting outside? Your realtor with the keys. You get those keys. What I usually do is I have the realtor wait 30 minutes because I want to go to this. I make the taxi driver take me to stores first, and I go get all the food I want because I don't want to go there and then have to leave. And I make the lady wait and go get my food from the store. Then I meet her. I come up with my bags and my food from the store. That's just me, gentlemen. I'm sorry, but I don't do Airbnb, gentlemen. Get off that Western stuff. I'm trying to give you guys tips. That way you don't get Western text, okay? And you can be part of the locals because the locals know that's an Airbnb apartment. It's a Westerner owns that. That Westerner don't live here, but he got the apartment. Nah, you do that later when you buy your apartment. When you come, you live with the locals. That way you get treated like the locals.
Amazing. Amazing, Donald. Thank you, bro. Brother, did you have a driver out there in Moldova to drive you around? Or you don't rent drivers at all?
No, I don't do drivers. I don't have my own car. I don't do drivers. What I want somebody else extra in my business for? My driver got to put me and my girls in the car. My driver's got to get my girls. Nah, I do everything. We walking over here. We walking over here. We walking home like Eastern Europeans. When it's time to go to the club, we all get in a taxi. I can't have 2 or 3 Colombian girls with me, 2 or 3 Ukrainian girls with me, 1 Moldovan girl with me, and I got a driver. Like, nah, man, we in the taxi. We go. The taxi get out. We go. I'm not paying no driver. I got the people I take care of. I may have a taxi's number that I can call every time he want to come pick me up because he cool. He like me. He like me. He talking with the girls, whatever. I may call him because he was cool. I sat in the front. We had a good time talking. We made a smoke one, something, whatever. So that's different. But I don't have drivers, no. So I try to keep other men. Remember, I'm the man. So I'm not trying to have other men, the drivers, and all that kind of stuff in my business about what I'm going, where my girl's going, all that kind of stuff. I got to protect my team at all times. I don't need another man knowing where we live at, what time we leaving, all that. That's just, I keep that to a minimum only because I have people I got to protect. Let me say that.
Awesome, brother. Awesome. Donald, thank you very much for your time. That is the end of the stream. I want to say thank you, brother, for coming on here and dropping this incredible intel. Donald will be back again on the Patreon on the live stream for another country. We don't know yet, but I'll reach out to Donald for that very soon. And we'll see what happens next, man. So, Donald, thank you once again, brother. Much appreciated, bro. We have the Ethiopian stream an hour from now. I got to prepare for that. So, yes, Donald, thank you, bro. Okay.
Thank you, guys. Black Slav. That's how you find me. Bye-bye.
Awesome, bro. Donald, salute to you, bro. Appreciate you, brother. Okay.
Bye-bye, buddy.
Peace.